Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Monday, November 6th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 84. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of Weekend Winners at 8 a.m. and Hold the Mayo joins the show at 9:15. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome into a brand new OTB, November 6, 2023. And, well, unfortunately, even though the cracks are beginning to show in that decaying empire that is Alabama, that elephant flesh, that hide, Jake, just a little too tough to chew for El Tigres as you fall in Tuscaloosa 42-28. I've not gotten to do the full film review, but I have watched much of it, and mainly I focused on the third downs, what went so wrong. Of course, Alabama going 11-14, and with that, I mean, you kind of see the story of the entire game. But there's a ton to get to, and we will get to all of it. Here in hour 1, I tend to be how these Monday shows go. Hour 1 is spent on LSU film breakdown, complaining, celebrating, whatever. Then we do weekend winners to kick off hour number 2, and then we get into the Saints after that. Great win by the Saints yesterday, and all of a sudden this NFC South feeling pretty good, boys. But look, I know if you're here, chances are that you want to start with the big one, LSU-Alabama College Game Day. First off, how's everyone feeling on this day? I don't know if you can tell, boys, but I mean, don't let the kid get healthy again. I'm feeling pretty damn good. Somewhere around noon yesterday at a kid's soccer game, at rehearsal last night for the Nutcracker, and I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm for the first time in about 2.5 weeks, I'm feeling almost normal. So I apologize for being so cheery on maybe a day where I should be more dour, but I'm excited to get into these conversations. What's up, though? How's everybody doing today?
Yeah, you had a rough go of it, and so you can have some glee in your voice. Before we get to the football portion of it, today's that first day you drive into work for us where it's light outside, and it's always it is always something that gets after my mind. I'm like, wait a minute, am I late? Like, did something happen?
Yeah, it does feel like you're late when that happens.
Like, when I was getting ready and making coffee and getting the kids ready, I'm sitting there like, I'm late. Like, something is going on.
That's
it's
funny.
never light outside when I'm leaving the house, and I always, like, that first couple of days, it still messes with my mind.
I guess I hadn't considered that. How you boys doing back there?
Yeah, yesterday was kind of trippy for that reason. I thought it was like 9 p.m., but it was really 6 p.m.
Yes.
So I appreciate the extra hour of sleep. Saturday sucked, but Sunday was cool. So good vibes over here.
Yeah, it was a nice recovery. It would have been awful if you'd lost to Tyson Pageant. I mean,
Yeah.
that would have been.
Almost.
Well, we can talk about the almost. I mean, when you're a bad team, the Saints aren't a bad team, right? But when you're not a great team, it's almost a weird thing where the almost doesn't feel that bad because you really can't take anything for granted.
For sure.
And so dub's a dub. Taylor, you wouldn't know much about winning after this weekend, would you?
No, I would not. I am happy for Mario that his Sunday was good. My Sunday was not as good.
So give me all of your teams that lost this weekend.
Just LSU and the Cowboys.
Well, what about Baker?
That's not really my team.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. But still, even they lost to Josh Dobbs, who had never thrown a single pass to Jordan Addison.
Baker lost to C.J. Stroud.
Oh, my bad. You're right. I'm thinking I got my game
Atlanta,
slipped up.
yeah.
Yes, even though we'll get to Josh Dobbs. That is insane as well. No, never mind. Well, yeah, you lost to the rookie phenom. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? And we'll talk C.J. Stroud a bit later on as well. All right. Let's get into LSU. And, Jake, general overarching thoughts here. First off, I mean, so many good moments for the first 2 quarters and change of this game, right? To open up the game, getting a sack on 3rd down, in which you had good coverage, disciplined rush lanes, and Harold Perkins with a disciplined edge rush, something that would completely disappear for the rest of the game. Worked down the middle and managed to get to Jalen Milroe. And then right after that, you come out, you immediately score, you take a 7-0 lead. So you've already, not only did you get to defer, but then you've already flipped the possessions. Now, you would lose the advantage of that flip, but both teams missed field goals. Okay, we remain even on the cosmic balance scales. Then right before half, after the defense once again blows it and gives up a critical touchdown, the unbelievable drive to tie it at 21 apiece. And all of a sudden, the whole reason why you deferred is back in play. And then you open up the second half, taking a 28-21 lead. I mean, again, so many epic, good moments. And then, Jake, the old mantra, the old cliche that you get sick of hearing, that we used to hear a lot, actually, given how much we relied on the symbolism of the chain. You're only as strong as your weakest link. We said this was going to be a test of that theory, given that LSU had the stronger strong league, but obviously the weaker weak league. And, well, unfortunately, a lot of time, Jake, these cliches are rooted in homespun wisdom because the defense collapsed. And last thing I'll say on a kind of an opening statement here, remember the opening salvo always brought to you by Skull Axe Throwing. Okay, go check it out now, open off of Lee, gcaxe.com. Code EARLYBIRD gets you 20% off. It's great for date night, like office party, girls' night, boys' night, whatever, solo axe throwing. You can go to Skull. But the last thing I'll say here in the opening salvo is that there is a certain level of peace for me in this loss, Jake, because it is now it is just clear what you are. Okay, No more hyping yourself up, no more fooling yourself. You are a good football team. You're going to have a chance to win 10 games. I would imagine the bowl game if you take care of business. And you're just not a championship-level football team, right? I mean, you have run into 2 championship-level football teams, and they played out literally the exact same way.
Yeah.
A frisky first half in which the offense kept you alive, some really moments, but then a just 3rd down defensive collapse that ends up burying you. So, like, you are what you are. You know, you're Popeye. Like, let's not play around anymore. You should still win the rest of these games. Believe that, and we're going to cheer for that, and we're going to break it down and have fun with that. But I guess I'm just saying that I'm kind of at peace because I don't feel like you blew it. I feel like it's just clear who you are, and you got beat by the better team. Now, you can be better, and we'll get into the coaching and the playing and everything else, but it is what it is.
So if you would have told me on Friday that Isaiah Bond and Jermaine Burton would have a combined 89 yards, that Jace McClellan would have 63 rushing yards, I would have said, okay.
Yeah.
I'll take that every single time.
Yeah.
Because, like we said, Jermaine Burton was probably going to be the biggest X factor. We said it. Ryan Fowler, who covers Alabama, said it. He had 29 yards receiving.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one worry was all the defensive backs. Now, in the run game, there was, some situations where some of the young players took wrong angles, bad fits, and it cost you as well. But 89 yards between their top 2 receivers. Their top running back, who had a really good game against Tennessee, 63 yards. And you're wondering, well, how in the hell did they score 42 points? Well, we will certainly get to that throughout this next 3 hours. But, that's the surprising thing, is the things that you said you had to stop, well, they didn't really go off. But it was other ways, and the adjustments you did not make in those ways in which you gave up 42 points to Alabama. And the 3rd downs. In your last 5 losses, it's been mostly because of 3rd downs.
Yeah.
You have been incredibly poor on 3rd down. And, I mean, we'll dive into it probably deeper later on, but in your last 5 losses, 79%, 54%, 64%, 44%, 65%.
79% was this game as well. That's the 11 of 14, to be clear.
Yes. And that's not even including some of these 4th down conversions that Florida State and others got that would actually raise this level of money down type situations. And so it is clear where you get into trouble is on 3rd down. And this game was clear why you got into trouble on 3rd down.
Yeah, so you mentioned the stats and how they ended up shaking out. And the reason why, Jake, and this is what's so kind of perplexing about what LSU sought to do here, the reason why we arrived at Jermaine Burton being the key is because most of the defenses that have faced Alabama have sold out to stop Jalen Milroe from beating them with his legs, right? Make him beat you with his arms. And that includes like spying, disciplined rush lanes, maybe playing more man. And that, like, it's just accounting for the quarterback on every play. LSU, for some odd reason, said, no, we're going to treat Jalen Milroe like he's an elite pocket passer, and we are going to rely on not accounting for him running, and we're just going to, like when we said we were worried about Jermaine Burton, it came with the core caveat of, but first, you have to account for Jalen Milroe scrambling, right? Because that's the easiest thing that he can do. The most natural thing for him is to just rely on his huge size and freakish athleticism and just run, right? So when we say you got to stop Burton, that's with the caveat of like, okay, but first, obviously, you have to account for Milroe, right? Like that's the core of the game plan is keep him in the pocket, spy him, don't let him run, and then try to figure out everything in on the back end. And look, if Jalen Milroe is going to beat you with his arm, instead of a fair play. It kind of is what it is.
Yeah. LSU, tip your cap to him.
Yeah. LSU, though, and just a and we'll get to Matt. I mean, this is about Matt House, right? Like, that's kind of the deal. And I feel bad. I'm not calling for a job or anything, but the bottom line is that we'll see how it shakes out, because when you look at the salary, one of 5 coordinators paid $2 million in the entire country, and you just look at the results. This is nothing personal. There are no emotions about the person himself tied into this. This is simply just looking at the product that is put on the field, and it's just so bad in so many ways. I mean, even that's like from a just pure game planning standpoint, right? But then the technique's not good, even within the game plan, and it's just, and I know you have personnel issues, but it doesn't excuse how off target you've still been in so many different ways. And look, I think that'll just, that situation, we'll see what ends up happening there. So we'll just talk about this game. But yeah, it just very perplexing, Jake, that you, somebody told me, I thought this was interesting, that basically there was the idea out there, even amongst the coaching staff or amongst some, that like for some reason you employed the same game plans that some of these guys had in like the NFL, but when they faced like Peyton Manning or Tom Brady, like guys that were going to carve you up through the air but could not leave the pocket to save their lives. And unfortunately, you did that against somebody whose most natural ability is to run. And we can show you screenshots and stuff, but it was just, I made the joke before the show, but Milroe, I think he felt like me when I go to a Chinese buffet and I just see unlimited sesame chicken, unlimited lo mein and fried rice, all the egg rolls. Back before I had kids, I used to go alone where nobody could bug me or bother me, and I could just fully focus on eating as much Chinese food as possible. And that's basically what Jalen Milroe felt like on all these third downs, as you have linebackers dropping 15 yards on 3rd and 10 in coverage. And it's just a buffet, and he feasted. You know how when you go to a buffet, you always want to get your money's worth? Yeah. Like you feel pressured to overeat, so you can be like, ha, I beat you, restaurant, even though you never really do. Jalen Milroe did beat the restaurant in this case.
He absolutely did. And like, we don't have the luxury of having the press conference and then the sound and then the questions to the, and the answers to that. And hey, why did this situation happen? But I will be very intrigued, to that answer, because a year ago, right, you probably won this game because you spied Bryce Young. Now, Bryce Young, really good. Like, he was that quarterback that every single time, like, you felt like you had him dead to rights, he would find a way to pick it up with his legs. Yeah. But Jalen Milroe can do it on any down, in any situation, certainly on 3rd down when he can't make some of the throws, most of the throws that Bryce Young could make. And last year, you did a really nice job of putting that in the game plan. That's really that's where Harold Perkins starred last year, was spying Bryce Young. That's where the country probably really realized who he was when he hawked down Bryce Young a couple of different times. Okay,
so the time.
The one time where Bryce Young hit the little dab step that he got everybody in the country on, and Perk got him. So that's also like the frustrating part. Like, you did it a year ago, it worked really well against the same team, and a better running quarterback, and there was like really nowhere to be seen.
I mean, he spied on the third downs that I charted. On the first one, which they ended up getting, but it wasn't a bad play. But on the first one, they ran a great little game. Perkins on the outside, and it's a little stunt where he twists to the inside. But instead of rushing, he hangs out in the middle and just becomes a natural spy. I was like, okay, this guy never did it on another third down. Not one. And I don't know. They just completely relied on the four guys up front to somehow keep Perkins in. And even within there, that's when we get into bad technique because guys were getting upfield. Guys are doing ill-advised late swim moves to the outside. Like, I mean, there were a couple times where Mason Smith is locked out, and in the last seconds trying to, like, I don't know. I mean, in chess, you would call that a blunder. You would put a little question mark and maybe even a question mark, exclamation mark. That's when it's like a really bad choice. But, yeah, never spied Harold Perkins. Really.
And we always talk about kind of personnel, too. And, you know, there's guys that are really good against teams that want to try to run the football. Like when you played Auburn, like, remember we talked about, it's a Greg Penn game.
Yeah.
It's a game where he's going to play really well. I was surprised, like, there was, you know, the personnel never really changed to see if you could get something. This isn't just Greg Penn. Greg Penn's your leading tackler. I'm saying we've used him an example for when you play against a running team. That's somebody that's physical, and that kind of plays into his hand. I'm surprised you didn't see other personnel changes maybe that played into their hand once you figured out how this is going to be an athletic quarterback that we've got to try to stop. And he's going to hit the gap, and he becomes a running back at that point with the speed and the athleticism that he has. And so, just not the way that you would have Alabama scoring 42 points, certainly when you stopped it a year ago.
I would say this as well to that point, Jake. I hesitate to say this because so many people will like take this and run with it, and I'm not saying this would be an end-all, be-all, right? But to Jake's point, this does feel like an interesting game where, look, Weeks is your most athletic linebacker. If you don't want to spy Perkins consistently because you wanted him in coverage or you wanted him rushing on the outside even, like, okay, but, like, you can't give me the excuse if he's a freshman, he doesn't know how to line up, he doesn't know how to get guys in the – like, just rely on his athleticism and just have him spy him and see if he's up to it. If he's not, he's not. But to not even try and to have your kind of slower linebackers in there dropping into coverage really deep, like terrified. Everybody looks terrified when they're in zone. Just absolutely terrified of getting beat, making sure they have the guy knowing where they're supposed to be. And, yeah, it's just questionable. So like Jake said, it's questionable on a kind of what's the philosophy of the game plan level. It's questionable on the usage of personnel, and the technique within all of the plays is questionable, you know? And that's why the weakest link ends up snapping and you end up losing this game. You're bad on every level. You kind of the on the field and the off the field, the plan and stuff. So, all right, when we get back, let's go ahead and just continue to break this game down, give you some more general overall thoughts, get your comments as well. YouTube.com/1045ESPN. If you want to come hang out, there's a lot of people in there. Please hit the like button, y'all. And we'll be back with more OTB next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
CentralPlumbing.org, CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552, 925-8552. CentralPlumbing.org is the website. That's the number. Plug it in your phone, y'all. Make it easy for yourself. And anytime that you have any issue, you know, and it doesn't matter when, remember, 24/7 emergency service, you call up Central Plumbing, and with 50 years of experience, they've seen it all, so they can fix it all. CentralPlumbing.org, CentralPlumbing.org.
Go to the website today, and you can check out what they can do for you as far as a remodel. It's not only in emergencies. Now they can certainly help you anytime, 365, 24/7, but also if you want to upgrade, it's right there. You can find that information on the homepage. Also, go tankless today with the tankless water heater. It's on the homepage as well. Go to water heaters, go down to tankless, and you can find that information. And this is great. If you have children, you're getting home late from the ballpark dance, whatever it might be, you got to shower, got to do the dishes, you got to do the laundry. Don't worry, because you'll never run out of hot water again. CentralPlumbing.org, 225-925-8552.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done, or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We're recapping the big one in T-Town, Tigers and Tide, and Saints Bears from the Dome. Join us for Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Dane Bergeron with a $10 super chat. Shout out, Dane. Thank you for your service. I would like to know why none of the O-line responded when Jaden Daniels took that shot. Stop acting like a bunch of wimps. We need some dogs on the team like Brandon Taylor, Tyrann Mathieu. Dallas Turner should have been laid out. So, I want to be clear on the offensive line. The offensive line was great. In fact, they were really making some statements early on that 4th and 1. We can get into it. I think I would have loved to see a simple run there, but whatever. So, the point is, this is a tough offensive line. This is a physically dominant offensive line, but I do agree. And let's talk about the Dallas Turner hit, because it seems to be one of the main debate points of the entire game. I do agree that I needed to see an O-lineman just get a 15-yarder there, whether it's just a straight-up punch that's going to get you ejected. Even in the very least, I needed to see some hold-me-back chest bumping. At least if you want to avoid the penalty, like a in the face, like holding your arms back so you don't get penalized, but like maybe a little like light little headbutt. You had to see something. And as far as thoughts on no response from the O-line?
Oh, yeah, you got to respond. I mean, that's your quarterback, that's your leader, that's your best player. And, you know, a shot that draws a penalty flag like that and ultimately knocks him out of the game, yeah. Look, is it smart football to go get 15 yards? No. But, look, at the end of the day, we're all meatheads, and you got to stick up for your guy. I was surprised that you didn't see somebody.
And because these are some tough.
They are, no,
like this O-line's not soft. Like, that's the thing. These some tough, good players, and it just, I was just surprised. But you know what? That becomes a coaching point. And now, like in the future, if that ever happens again, I imagine that you would see this O-line respond because, again, I think that they're very good. As far as the shot itself goes, look, should it have been targeting? I would say yes. Ejected from the game, sure. And just know that my take comes from the fact that I was a dirty player, okay? And I liked to get in cheap shots and all that kind of stuff. And so my perspective is probably skewed here. But I quote tweeted a tweet from the Mic'd Up podcast, who I love their social media. They do an awesome job. Mic'd Up's cool. Go check them out. But it was something along the line of like, this, and it's a debate that me and Matt had on Whiskey and Wine Saturday. Like, this was so dirty by Dallas Turner, just an awful football play and all this other stuff. And to me, I'm like, does it suck that it was my guy, my hero, JD5 on the receiving end of it? Absolutely. But it is football. What did we talk about on Friday? I had a whole spiel about violence and how you're allowed to be violent. You're like, I don't know many great players that when they're lining up to hit a guy have ever thought, I better hit this guy kind of soft. Like, I better hit him correctly. Like, when you go to hit someone, you go to inflict maximum damage. That's the game. And that's exactly what Dallas Turner did. So you can be mad at the refs, but I'm not really mad at Dallas Turner. I want my players to do that same thing. I wish somebody would have lined up Jalen Milroe and stuck their crown of the helmet underneath his chin and broke his jaw. Like, as bad as that sounds, that is football. That is the game. So I'm not mad at Turner. I'm upset maybe that, a call wasn't made even after being reviewed, but that's just the game.
And two, like, I don't think Dallas Turner lined up and said, on this play, I am going to, hurt Jaden Daniels. Like, it became a football play, but it also became targeting. And it became like, if you want to go by it, and look, I'm not the biggest fan of targeting. If they'd have called on offensive players, I wouldn't have played. I wouldn't have had a career. It's just what it is. But, I mean, it is what it is, and that's what it was. Did it change the outcome of the game? Probably not. Probably not. At that point, the game was what the game was. There was other calls, honestly, that I'm more upset about in the game. Horse collaring and a hold on Harold Perkins on the play where Milroe, just shoots it out to the running back and it goes for 40.
Bro, so I didn't catch that live, but that was one of the main things. And I didn't want to, post it because I don't.
Yeah, after losses.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. I'm not trying to complain about the refs as the difference, but my God, Harold Perkins got it was
arm around and then a jersey
and
pull.
Then it was two different holds. It was bad.
And even the offensive lineman.
He looked at and Perkins immediately went to the ref and was like, "Bro, what are you watching here?"
Yeah, even the offensive lineman, you could tell he was dapping Perkins up in the next play, like, I got away with one.
Well, anytime you see the O-line kind of checking for the flag, like, huh? That's when you know.
I mean, it looked, those holding calls were pivotal because, you got one against Will Campbell, and I understand what Will was doing. Scramble, and his arm got caught there. That was a drive killer for you, and the difference in the game was 2 drives and 2 really offensive penalties because you had to be perfect in this game. Yeah. But, look, I don't know that the SEC will come out. If they reviewed that and still, didn't want to make a call.
No, they did.
No, that's what I'm saying. If they do that and they still don't want to make a call, you got to explain it to me. You got to explain it to me because it's just it is a roulette wheel at this point.
Yeah.
And, the Devin White one years ago when he got it in 2018, and then that's not. It's like, okay, we got to figure this out. We got to be better about this. You have to explain to me why you did not call that. Again, it goes back to you, and I know you hate it. I need that head referee, right, to explain to me why that was not targeting. Yeah. I need it can be, he can talk to Ross Dellinger after the game. I don't even need it on video. But hey, Mr. Referee, sir, by the way, that I've never seen, looks like they went and found you before the game.
Hey, hold on, do you know his last name?
I'm sure it's something country.
Gautreaux. He's from Lafayette. So the whole time, that was one of the funnier parts about being a Don Juan Saturday. Every time LSU had a call that went their way, we started chanting, "Go, Tro, go." And then, like, the constantly on the game was like, "Go, Tro, come on.
Okay.
We need you. What are you doing? You're supposed to be on our side."
Well, Mr. Gotro, like, I need you to give Ross Dellinger 30 seconds on why that was not. And then I'm good. I'm still mad, but I'm good. Hey, here's what we saw. Here's why we did not call it, and that's why I hate it. There's no transparency. You don't have to answer to your mistakes, and I've got to answer to all of them.
Fonz Fondrelli says they held all night in the middle. Jefferson and Smith were actually beating the O-line to get held so many when Miller broke out. I'm going to have to respectfully disagree. It was really solid on the interior of the Alabama offensive line. And were the blocks sticky? Yes. Like, that's part of the problem. That's been part of the problem with Mason Smith all year long, is it's all too sticky for him right now. But it was hands inside stickiness. When guys were running away, they weren't holding on longer than your kind of that little split second of just like slow them down a little bit. Like, I just don't agree. I don't think it was.
Lars inside the chat, are we done with the Jaden Daniels Heisman hype? I hope that's just saying, like, I hope that you're asking that because they lost, and not that you don't believe that it's worthy of hype.
Yeah, I don't think that anybody emerged from this game being like, "Oh, Jaden Daniels."
I sure hope not, because he was the reason that you had any chance in this game. He was by far your best player. Yet again, grades out over 90% on Pro Football Focus. He kept you in this game. He played like a Heisman front runner in this game, but he won't be there because egregiously bad on the other side.
He could maybe still find his way to New York. But he's gonna have to play, and I don't know if he's gonna be able to play this week. You know. But if he does, and he balls out these final 3 games, you're 9-3. Like, he could maybe find his way. I'm not closing the door, but winning it, no. Winning it, not going to happen. Shout out to Natalie Noel, $5 super chat. Our girl, Natalie, of course, Noel Family Distillery. I got doctor's clearance and a plan of how to do my medication on Saturday, to drink on Saturday. Meaning I got to get delicious Natalie Noel tequila all up in my body all night long. Natalie says, it felt like the offensive game plan coming out of halftime was flat. JD5 seemed to stop running. Also, thoughts, why didn't they coming out of halftime it was flat? I mean, you came out and you immediately scored. It made it 28-21. But then, like Jake said, that's when you ran into, you had some I mean, it's this, to me, again, it's just like the Florida State game, where when we're talking about a 2nd and 17 drop that would have set up a 3rd and 5, when we're talking about that drop feeling like the difference in the game, that is not actually a commentary on the offense. It is a commentary on how thin the margin of error for the offense is. Like, that should not be the difference. And yet it does loom large because your defense just allows you no room for any error. And again, there was a stretch in this game, Jake.
It's the first time, to your point, that I could feel them almost feel like they had to be perfect.
Yeah.
It's the first time that I've had that feeling from the offense. And they've had games where they've had to be, basically. I mean, Ole Miss game, they would have had to be perfect. Missouri game, they kind of had to do that. But you could tell, I think, a little bit here in this one, they knew what the situation was.
So there was a this is some fascinating stuff here, guys. When I talk about defensive collapse, allow me to apply some numbers to it. So it was 28-21, Jake, with 9 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Alabama has 3rd and 10. They drop a million guys, and let me see exactly what happened on this 3rd down here. All right, so okay, here it is, 3rd and 10, 9:19 left. This was the worst example of everybody dropping 30 yards deep into coverage, and bad rush by Deshaun Womack on the edge. He goes way too far upfield. Mason Smith's trying to rush down the middle. He's double team. He's just like, it's just a giant gap. 16-yard scramble. 1st down. Okay, so that's at 3rd and 10, 3rd quarter there when that happens. Alabama does not have another 3rd down until it's 42-28 with 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Yep. So a full quarter of football where you started up 7 and you don't force even another 3rd down until it's 42-28. As if that's not bad enough, Jake. If you look at the consecutive streak of converted 3rd downs, of which the scramble was in there, you have the Greg Penn TFL, which causes the missed field goal. And that's when it's at 14 all. Then you allow 7 consecutive third down conversions that bookend that stretch of not even forcing a third down.
Yeah.
So you are talking about a massive chunk of the game in which you never got off the field and you never even got into situations to get off the field from when they had 14 to 42. Just an and that's where I arrive at the absolute defensive collapse.
Yeah, and you had limited possessions in the second half, and again, you had to be perfect. You go down there, you score, and then everything T's talking about, like when you have the ball, you feel like you're pressing, and you have to make every single one of those plays because you had to be, yet again, perfect. And when you drop a pass, that's going to set you up for a manageable third down. Like, you can't do that. Then you have one where, look, Dallas Turner makes a good play, gets his hands on the football.
Yeah, that's just
interception.
a good defensive play.
That was
What
just
are
a
you going to
good
do?
Look, what'd he do? He stopped rushing.
Yeah.
He realized, okay, Will Campbell's got me beat. I'm going to stop rushing. I'm going to put my hands up, led to a turnover. And, I mean, every possession that you had. And then, look, rough game for Charles Turner. And I'd love to get your perspective on that. He had 3 double clutches. And, look, one, they were going to go for it on 4th down. Did they get it? I don't know. But he had another one, and then they have to punt because it went from 4th and 10 to 4th and 15. And they said, well, we got to punt.
Yeah, it was that felt like, Jake, and you can appreciate this, some days as a player you can get into a bit of a tailspin, you know. And there were low snaps all night long.
On the 4th down, there was a low snap.
The double clutches, it just look there. It was, you got to give credit to your opponent, okay? And those are opponent forced errors. I don't even view this like tennis. I wouldn't even call it an unforced error. That's crowd noise. That's the threat of that giant nose guard lining up across from you, getting to you a bit. And so it's I mean, I'm not saying it excuses Charles Turner. What I'm saying is he was outclassed by the situation and the player in front of him. And he's a very good player, but you know, sometimes you have bad nights. And he had a bad night.
I mean, so that took a possession. I mean, again, you're going for it on 4th and 10, but that went from trying to convert to giving the football back to Alabama. And so that was another reason. And then on the last drive that you had, right? I mean, Nussmeier comes in there, plays well on the drive, and you hit Malik on the sideline. It was a tough catch, right? Couldn't look like the DB was in front of him, but one, certainly after you saw his reaction that he knows he can make and has to make.
Yeah, they were.
And if he catches that, I would have loved to seen what happens if he gets upfield.
Taylor pointed out there were a few drops. How many? Who? I mean, everybody had one pretty much.
I counted 3 from Malik. Thomas had one. Lacey had one that would have been a first down. Mason Taylor had a huge one. Even Diggs, I mean, I understand the ball was tipped, but the swing route hit him in the hands. I mean, it seemed like every receiver you threw the ball to had at least one drop on Saturday.
And look at Jaden's stats are still great.
That's something that's so uncharacteristic of this team. I mean, everybody has been so solid. Lacey had drops early in the year, but the last 2 or 3 weeks, even he's picked it up. And I mean, it's a big game. You can't afford to do it.
And Malik Neighbors had one of the best catches I've ever seen.
Yeah, he did.
The catch and throw on the, oh my, I just got goosebumps. On the outside where his foot is hanging out of bounds and then like slips back in was.
Even your boy Gary's like, oh, his foot's going to, oh my God, it didn't.
All right, we got to go to break. We're on very long. We get back more OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota is your answer for your car buying needs. Look, first off, you get the advantage of getting a Toyota, which they stand the test of time, to credible engineering. They have a great selection as well, right? Whether you want a big, like, luxury SUV like the Sequoia, look at them. They're really nice. I personally, I did all my research, and I fell again towards a Sienna. It'd be a double Sienna, double minivan household. Okay, that could be you if you got the balls for it. But if not, maybe you want a Tundra or something else, you can go check it out, All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Or you can go check out a vehicle maybe for the weekend, for a couple of days to see what you want, and you can do that in the rental process. Maybe you've got a trip coming up for the holidays, and, you need something a little bit bigger. Or maybe you want something smaller. Maybe like, hey, it's just, me and significant other. We're just going to get a sedan. I don't know, hybrid maybe. I mean, multiple situations, and everything is available over there. Full fleet, All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
When it comes to ending cancer, we push forward, always working together for you. That's why our cancer experts at Ochsner have clinically integrated with MD Anderson Cancer Center. This means advanced cancer care, including access to life-saving clinical trials and integrating care to treat the whole you. Introducing Ochsner MD Anderson Cancer Center. Long live you.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Join me for a Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, recapping LSU and Bama and Brian Kelly's press conference and Saints and Bears. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I hurt myself today.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back to OTB. All right, let's talk 4th and 1 real quick. A lot of people talking about Aranda coming back to LSU. I would say, I'd be definitely into it, right? He's going to have to take a coordinator role again. Like, he's not going to get another head coaching opportunity, maybe at a smaller school. I don't know how it's gone so wrong at Baylor, but it clearly has. I never know the truth of these matters, but I think him and O maybe didn't see eye to eye. Personality-wise, him and Brian Kelly would appear to be more of a fit. So, I think you explore it, right? Am I crazy here?
So anytime you have somebody that becomes a head coach and they've had a taste of that, like you wonder, are they willing? Now, in the NFL, you see it all the time. Guy gets elevated, head coach doesn't work out. He's immediately going back to being a coordinator. You don't necessarily see it as much in college. Like sometimes they're like, hey, I'm going to go from Baylor to FIU.
Yes, that's fair. That's fair. I just, I don't know. I do feel as if Brian Kelly does give his defensive coordinators pretty full autonomy.
Yeah.
Though, so, I don't know. It's something to think about, but it's way off the distance. The 4th and 1 play real quick. I don't love the call. I don't think the call's maybe as just like, I don't think it's as flat out wrong as a lot of people want to paint it as. I still don't love it. You're running the ball so well. I think Josh Williams or Logan Diggs picks up that first down. I think that upon reviewing it again, I didn't realize this live, but the low snap threw off the timing by the tick. It's so funny how interconnected this all is. Just a tiny little tick, and that's what allows the play to be made. I also think it's a great defensive play, right? And that speaks to the Alabama secondary. I think that 90% of the teams don't get there, and that it ends up being a conversion.
Yeah, the low snap did. I mean, in a play like that, everything has to be on schedule because there's so much movement, there's motion, there's timing. It's like basically like you're a second baseman getting the pitch from the shortstop trying to turn two. I mean, as soon as you get it, like you got to get it out. And when you have a low snap, it throws that timing off. And you have one option basically on that play. That's what I don't love about it is you have that one option, and if it's not there or if it's late like it was, then it's not going to be completed. And like you said, early in the game, certainly, Logan Diggs and then later on Josh Williams, they pushed the pile.
And the offensive line was getting pushed.
Almost every
they were getting pushed.
Almost every run was, all right, we're going to start with 3 yards, and then we'll see what else we can get after that, right? So if you're getting 3 yards a pop before you get contacted, I understand –
your zone
4th and 1, but that's who you. Yes, that's who you are.
And let Jane Daniels either pull it or give it.
Because that play, again, it has so many moving parts. It has to all work. And your center was struggling, and he had another low snap, throws the timing off. The guy makes a good play, and that was your one option.
Jeff G says, T-Bob, should BK go after the ex-USC defensive coordinator? Reminds me of a funny tweet I saw from Lucy Roden, who said, which college team is brave enough to hire Brian Ferentz and Alex Grinch to be the coordinators on their team? Who will be so brave among us? All right, when we get back, let's close out hour number 1 of OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Community Steel Company, baby. You know what they are? They're LSU fans. Why? Because they're local. They're from here. They're in Gonzales, Louisiana. And they're actual, here. They're live. They're human beings. It's not some national company we're going to be dealing with answering machines and emails. You go to the actual grounds themselves. You can look at the very steel buildings, purlin tubing that you'll be buying. You can deal with the excellent live and local sales team, and you get the best prices because there aren't a bunch of middlemen jacking up the price for the consumer on the back end. They go straight to the wholesaler. They get the steel. They make it all on site in Gonzales, and you reap the benefits. So personal, business, whatever it is, you want Community Steel. You absolutely do. And like T-Bob mentioned, I mean, from the get-go, CommunitySteelCo.com, it mentions they're in Gonzales, Louisiana, because they want you to know that they are local. They don't have to go to Dallas and Houston and Austin, all these other places, right, to get their steel. It is right here, and they're going to help you today. 225-647-2020.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
Countryside, I saw him ride. One day they found him.
Life in Louisiana is like a run-on sentence. A poem that doesn't rhyme. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
It was a humid day. Barefoot children play. looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Running Boards marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We're recapping the big one in T-Town, Tigers and Tide, and Saints Bears from the Dome. Join us for Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back, OTB. Final thoughts here on the LSU game before we get into some weekend winners, and then Saints talk, some more happy talk after that. Look, again, there's a certain piece to be had in kind of knowing you are what you are at this point. And this was kind of the last gasp for any championship hopes that were still flickering. We said it last week, Jake. I think I even said it on your Sirius show on Friday. Basically, look, sober analysis would have scored this in Alabama's favor, right?
Yeah.
At home, you have such an obvious weak link. I tried to talk myself into a championship offense, like just carrying you over the top. But in the end,
after the first drive of the second half, we're like, okay, well, maybe this is this is how it had to play out.
Yes.
For you to have the opportunity to go win this game. And again, like we hate coming back to it, you felt like you had to be perfect or 95%. And you were up until that point.
This is kind of funny. Patrick Vine saying, hilarious how many times I'm hearing people say Ed Ogeron had no idea how to run a program and clap for Pete Jenkins coming back, want Aranda, want Blake Baker, and want Corey Raymond. I mean, okay, that's not an unfair point. Again, saying Oda had no idea how to run a program is insane. It is okay to say maybe he lost his way a little bit, not a little bit, but post-national championship, right? There's fair points on both sides. Ask T-Bob and Jake, can't read that. Isn't one of the guys assigned to protect the QB? I don't know exactly what you mean by there.
If you're talking about a quarterback spy type defense, that would, be the case.
I would think so.
That was not what was run.
And they had, again, the first third down. Now, they got it. But the first third down of the game, you ran a twist where you looped Perkins, and he was spying over the middle. And I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. We never did it again on third down at least. Also, Brian Kelly did say in the postgame that there were a couple missed assignments, Jake, where guys were supposed to loop inside and did not. And you could see that from a couple of rushes where one guy did, the other guy doesn't. And so because it's football and it's the ultimate team sport and everybody has to do their job, it ends up, it ends up falling apart because of that. And again, Chinese buffet and all that stuff. You know what play stands out in my mind too? That 3rd and 3, the wheel route, Perkins has the running back, man. It's just such a game of inches.
Yeah.
Perkins loses but shows some incredible recovery speed, and my man is 6 inches away. I mean, 6 more inches, he might have had a chance at a pick.
Yeah, I mean, because he hit it.
Yeah, I mean, he tipped it. But
it was a hell of a catch by the running back to concentrate and still come up with it.
But to show you, how crazy this game is, instead of the drive ending there, it's a 40-yard gain. They end up scoring, and they take a 21-14 lead. Just, them's the breaks. And that was that drive ended with a 3rd and 9, where I think this was maybe one of the missed stunt calls, where Mason Smith loops all the way over while Harold Perkins rushes upfield. I think a Gofu was maybe supposed to come back around Smith, and we're just talking about a massive hole for Jalen Milroe to run in. Coverage is so terrified of getting beat. They're all basically in the end zone already. And which is hilarious because Milroe actually had 2 receivers wide open underneath that he could have thrown to, but he ends up just scrambling and running in the end zone quite easily.
Yeah, one of the ones that he ended up trying to throw, I believe it was to Bond on the sideline. He probably could have just ran that one in.
Yeah.
I mean, there was nobody that was going to tackle him over there. But
so the defensive problems, more in personnel or scheme at the end of the day, it's obviously a mixture. I emerged from this, though, hating the gameplay. I think scheme was the ultimate boogeyman this time around.
Yeah, again, if I would have told you Alabama's top 2 receivers combined for 89 yards, we all would have taken that on Friday.
Coming up next, weekend winners in Saints Talk. Keep it locked.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Accutemp of Baton Rouge, AccutempBR.com. You know, we love our friends over there at Accutemp. Take control of your comfort zone today. AC, heating, electrical needs. You get that service to the highest degrees. And I mean that stuff, man. Like, wait until you deal with Accutemp. It's going to blow you away. Everybody's lights on insured. They give you full bios on who's coming into your home. So you really feel like you know the person and you feel great about it. The effort that they go through to get your problem fixed, no matter when you need it. Like I said, last time my IC broke, it's a Friday. We had people come to town. We were in dire straits. It was still 100 degrees in October. And Accutemp got us right. AccutempBR.com.
Yeah, go to the website today to schedule that appointment online right now. Remember, you can schedule it. They're going to send you a profile of exactly who's coming into your home. So you know, right? There's no worries. You get like a full bio, like a profile of who it is and their experience. AccutempBR.com, AccutempBR.com.
The world's leaders in obesity research, obesity medicine, and obesity science are right here.
We're doing something that no one's ever done or trying to answer a question that no one's ever asked before.
Pennington is a real jewel when it comes to research.
We are finding the solutions to the world's worst chronic disease, which is obesity. Louisiana needs Pennington Biomedical.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is celebrating Ram Power Days with $15,000 off MSRP on new 23 1500 trucks, $15,000 off, and a 1 million mile warranty. Plus, we'll pay your trade-off regardless of what you owe. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206.
Good morning, everybody. It is a.m. on Monday, November 6th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 84. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of Weekend Winners coming up next, and Holden Mayo joins the show at 9:15. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Hour number 2 of OTB. God, I've not, dude. My mentions are just a dumpster fire, boys.
Well, T, you knew that was
just an absolute.
Probably knew that was a likelihood if it didn't go your way.
I will say this. I will never shy away from talking crap before the game. Only cowards wait to talk crap till after you win. That's a soft move. That's the easy move. I will always talk that noise before the game. And sometimes you lose, and then you deal with thousands of Alabama fans just calling you a clown, an idiot. Teabagging. I mean, look at this guy in the chat, man. More teabagging T-Bob. Roll damn tide, man. Yeah. Well, guess what? You don't get these hands next year, okay? These tiny hands are going to get in the weight room, the film room, the jobs that we're going to get ready, and LSU is going to beat Alabama's ass next season in Death Valley, okay?
Ah, man, I was catching some, like, of your strays.
Ancillary.
Yeah, like I was getting tagged, like, can't wait to watch the show, whatever. And a couple of people tagged me, and one tagged me. I'm like, all right, let me click on this. And I saw, like, on his profile, Louisiana Tech grad, South Alabama grad, ... Roll Tide. I'm like, hold up.
Speaking of South Alabama, how did South Alabama beat Oklahoma State so badly? Earlier this football season, one of the weirdest quirks of the entire college football season. So it's always, it's not bad though when my mentions become a dumpster fire, because it just means that I kind of avoid Twitter for a couple days, which is like never the worst thing from a mental health standpoint. But yeah, don't worry, I'm gonna do it all again next year. I'm the stupid goofy meme.
Look, if y'all don't think
I'll do it again.
If y'all
don't you worry, I'm gonna do it all over again.
T understands the assignment.
Yeah,
he understands it. All right, so y'all just keep blowing it up.
Who knows what the angle's gonna be next year? Also, my entire take of decaying empire is very much still on the table. Okay, now I think this Bama Georgia game is becoming much more interesting, but let's see. Yeah, exactly, William. Catching petite hands all day. That's right. Do you want these petite hands on you? I said, nah. All right. I think there's some more LSU stuff to get to, but we'll probably circle back around later. Right now, let's go ahead and dive into some weekend winners.
That's how winning is done.
That's right. We can't have anyone freak out there, okay? We've got to keep our composure. We've got too far.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
Are you doing what it takes to win a championship?
Wow, winning.
Well, then I guess there's only one thing left to do.
What's that?
Win the whole thing.
All right, my first weekend winner, football in Germany, boys. I thought it was great. How about the crowd pop on the Kansas City touchdown right before half. And I think that stadium's only like 50,000, right? I believe is what I read. Am I wrong here?
No, I think so.
I think it's like 52. But that was one of the most unreal crowd pops I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And that is one of the great part about the European crowds is they just get super hype on any big play.
As someone who's played in London, not in Germany, but we played in Wembley, and it felt like a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There was cameras on the opening kickoff. No matter which team did it, it was it was incredible.
Exactly. And so like that fumble with the pitch, it was so cool to watch. And apparently I was reading Peter King's breakdowns of NFL weekends are like the best thing to read. You're allowed to smoke inside the stadium, like the 50s. So apparently,
smoking or not,
everybody's just like cigs, cigars. There's just smoke wafting throughout the stadium. Very old school sort of feel there. I thought that was very funny.
All right. I mean, yeah, we get that for Tennessee, Alabama. That's
can you imagine just like a big Das Boot beer and maybe like a cigar during the football game? That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Like that's pretty fun.
Yeah. No doubt
Shout
about
out
it.
football in Germany. Word on the street is there's more German games coming. Spain, and they want to do Paris. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah,
a game in Paris. Get to
Saints
go.
got to play in that, right?
I would hope so. I would hope so. Also, like,
Yeah, it
you
makes
know
so much
what?
sense.
You know
The
what
Florida
I'm
leagues
kind
are
of
low
done
enough.
with?
Sure.
You know what I'm kind of done with? Coaches and players complaining about having to play in Europe. Get the hell over it. Okay, like
it is what it is.
You're paid a bunch of money. Right, get your
I loved
job,
it.
and
I
it
loved
spreads
it.
the game worldwide.
We got to stay in a castle for a week.
Yeah, that's it.
Like an old castle
I'm
that they
stoked.
turned in to a resort. It was incredible. Now, the time difference coming from the West Coast, was it a bear? Yeah, it was, but who cares?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying it's easy,
cares?
but it
Go play.
is
It's
your
fun.
job. Like, you
It's
just
fun.
go do it.
We lost to the Saints. It's a great game, like 42-38 or something like that.
Ooh, that's cool.
It was great. It was a fun game. All right, so
Classic Chargers.
no doubt. Actually, hey, in this one we got down big and came back. Okay. So it was actually reverse script. All right, so this one, it's a little bit of a weekend loser, but I really like this guy, Aaron Taylor. Love Aaron Taylor. I think every time I've ever met him, he's been great. He's a second guy on a CBS call. So if they have more than one game, he's going to be the analyst. But
AT? Yeah, AT's awesome.
I got to call my guy out a little bit here. Just a little bit. Okay, so CBS did this thing on me a couple of years ago where all the CBS announcers were, they did like a looking back and like of my career, and it was very nice, man. Loved it, very appreciative of it. My guy Neuheisel was on it. But like when he got to Aaron Taylor, he was like, yeah, he wasn't very athletic, but he got the job done. Not the most athletic guy. Like every time they came to him, he was talking about me not being a good athlete. And I kind of laughed it off, whatever. I'm watching the Mizzou game this weekend, and he's on the call. And this Mizzou linebacker makes a great play. A great play. Late in the game, gave him another chance. He deflects a pass from Carson Beck, gives him the opportunity to get the ball back. And my man's like, well, if he'd have been more athletic, he probably would have intercepted that. My brother in Christ, Aaron, set up the combine. Whatever drills you want to do, whatever the events that you want to do, I got to see your sweet feet. I have to see what you're bringing to the table. Because as
AT
many
was a
times,
beast now, though, dog.
I know he
AT
was.
was a beast
Notre
now, dog.
Dame,
Yeah.
Packers, Chargers,
Super Bowl champ.
I know the career. Joe Moore Award. I know Joe Max Moore is a player for Everton. Joe Moore Award. I understand that. I get it. But I got to see these sweet feet. My man will call you out for not being athletic real quick. Aaron, I need to call you out if you don't have the sweetest feet that I've seen. So I'm just saying, Aaron, I like him. He's really good at his job. Great guy. Great human being. But I need to see the feet, Aaron.
I bet you he has some sweet feet, though.
Well, we're going to need to see.
I like to see him on a ladder drill. Even though I would still take me on a ladder drill over anybody. Understand that. That's for life. Even in these Tacovas. Mario, what you got?
Speaking of good athletes, Taysom Hill made a little NFL history on Sunday. Shout out. He's the first player since Frank Gifford to have 10 career rushing touchdowns, passing touchdowns, and receiving touchdowns. Ran one in yesterday in the victory over the Bears, or threw one, I should say. Taysom definitely one of my favorite players, man. Does it all. Shout out Taysom Hill.
I like how Brett said, he says, weekend winner Taysom Hill and Kalen Saunders are like a WWE tag team. When they come on the field, you know what's coming. Well, that's the great part, is that they kind of changed what's coming a couple times in this game, right? Like, they're getting real creative with that package. If this doesn't end with them actually running the jet sweep to Kalen Saunders, though, it's all for naught. Because one of the coolest plays yesterday was where they lined him up in the slot and motioned him to give him a full head of steam on the kick out, and the poor DB that saw him coming didn't even try.
Yeah, no.
He didn't even. He was like, "Nah, fam."
Business decision.
Also, weekend loser running a 4th and 1 sneak with Derek Carr when Taysom Hill's about 3 feet to his left.
Yeah, and it was like poorly executed. It could have been a penalty. It was rushed. It wasn't great. Weird spot, though. I mean, anytime it's an inch away, kind of, that's just human.
We'll probably talk about it, but probably should have kicked it there. I mean, you kick it there, you go by 10 with 7 minutes to go. So
again, I mean, get the first down. I don't know. But yeah, I feel you. I feel that.
All right, I got
and then also, we got to talk about Blake Groupie. I don't know if you're not feeling too trusting right now.
I had a text written out to the group about Groupie. I said, you know what? It's Sunday. Let me delete this.
It was also his birthday, so I'm glad you did
no,
that.
I didn't give a damn about that.
I mean, look, again, it's not that he's awful.
He's just going to be compared to.
But you don't
Lutz.
have any of the confidence that you had when Will Lutz was back there. It feels like such a massive downgrade. But whatever. At least Headley came up with a huge punt at the end. That was awesome to see. Great. Okay, we're getting to Saints talk. Sorry.
All right, I have a weekend winner and loser in the same one. So the weekend winner is C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
He had 470 yards, an NFL rookie record, 5 touchdowns. We talked about it. You asked me about Baker losing the game, and it was such a great game. Baker takes the Bucs on a drive in a game they probably shouldn't have been in.
Yeah.
Scores a touchdown, takes the lead with 39 seconds left. You're like, oh, crap, if you're the Saints, this division just got a little tighter. They're going to win this game. C.J. Stroud gets the ball, 39 seconds left, marches right down the field, scores a touchdown with 5 seconds left. Yeah. He's on pace for over 4,000 yards. Right now he has 14 touchdowns, only 1 interception.
No. His
pace. I had the Texans, by the way, -2.5. They won by 2.
They won by 2.
Because they took a knee on the conversion because their kicker got hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, some more winners from this. And first off, you say on pace for 4. He's on pace for 4,800.
4,800.
So nearly 5K.
Yeah. Well, and the weekend loser to that is the Carolina Panthers. I understand it's early in both of their careers. Bryce Young had another really bad game yesterday. 173 yards, 4.4 yards per completion.
Yeah.
1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. And you can say, well, he doesn't have a lot of talent around him. C.J. Stroud doesn't either, guys. And C.J. Stroud's playing a lot better. It looks like they may have made the wrong decision at their quarterback.
I would say another weekend loser is the S2 cognitive test. Remember all that stuff?
Yeah.
C.J. Stroud apparently scored awful. And we were like, oh, my God, he's going to suck. Well, the S2 can suck. Another weekend winner from that game, Dare Ogunbowale, the running back, who came in and kicked a 29-yard field goal in a game you win by 2.
And then kicked it off.
And then a kickoff to the end zone and a critical kickoff. Shout out Darren Ngumbawale. That's incredible.
What's funny, I was listening to that game on the radio when I was going to the gym. The Saints game just ended. This game went a little long.
We get it. You work out, Taylor.
This game went a little long. So, I have that one because, 104.5, we carried that game.
Yeah.
And then 98.1 carried the Saints game. So, I'm listening to it heading to Denham and, they're like, Ogunbowale in to kick off. And, I hadn't watched the beginning of them. What the hell? That's their backup running back. And they're like, and he kicks it out of the end zone for a touchback. I'm like, what is going on? Then he nails a 30-yarder. I was like, okay, this guy can apparently kick.
Yeah, I wish he could have nailed an extra point at the end of the game.
That's so funny.
And Trey Palmer fumbled, and it bounced around, and Mike Evans got it. That would have ended the game.
How about what a weekend winner, the Saints NFC South prospects, as Josh Dobbs, 72 hours into his Viking tenure, and C.J. Stroud having there's been 104 years of NFL football, and a rookie quarterback's never done what C.J. Stroud did, and because of that, you gain a game on your 2 biggest competitors in the South. What a weekend for the Saints.
I mean, what a weekend for Josh Dobbs. I think we all would have him in weekend winners. To go from the Cardinals last week, where he's had a total of 3 touchdowns, gets traded after he gets benched, which probably indicated that he was going to get traded. They go for Clayton Tune, and that turned out well for them against the Browns. But he gets traded to the Vikings, and without a practice rep, right?
Not a single rep with the ones.
No, he's over there taking snaps with the center, on the sideline for the first time. Yes.
Getting cadence down, because every quarterback has a different cadence.
I mean, that is incredibly hard. I don't care if you knew the system. I don't care if you were familiar with the system. Without a single rep, you go out there, you lead your team to 3 touchdown drives, and you get a victory over a decent Falcons team on the road.
A 75-yard game-winning touchdown drive in the 2-minute drill. And here's a quote from Jordan Addison after the game. Quote, I never caught a ball from Josh Dobbs until today. He had never even thrown a ball in his life to Jordan Addison. and then he had to go win an NFL game. Shout out Josh Dobbs. What an awesome story. He's been on 5 teams in the last 45 weeks. So in the calendar year, my man's has been on 5 different teams.
I mean, the fact that he was even
next,
probably
Luke McCown?
active.
I mean, he got
Josh
moved.
McCown?
He got moved.
Josh or Luke.
He said that initially the Cardinals had told him they were going to keep him through the trade deadline. And he was like, oh, good, all my stuff just got here. And then the GM was like, well, maybe keep like 1 bag packed. And yeah, good thing.
It seems
that he
like
kept that
every year a guy like that like comes in cold and like wins a game. Baker did it last year when he got traded to the Rams. Now you got Josh Dobbs. It seems like every year there's like one game where a guy comes in like 24 hours notice and just wins the game.
This is unique in the fact that he had success with the Cardinals, like 3 touchdowns last week, gets traded, and then he has 3 more. And so the Vikings, they gave every rep to Hall, who was going to be the rookie starter, because why wouldn't you? I mean, he's in his first start. He needs all of them. So Kevin O'Connell told Dobbs to treat his prep like the Vikings were playing a Thursday night game, so condensed everything, game plan everything. And that's all he had. That's all he had. He did not have a rep with the ones all week. He's only been there 3. Like, when you sign in the middle of the season, even if you're a veteran, they're probably going to hold you back for you're going to be inactive for about 2 weeks until they feel like you learn the playbook well enough to go out there and help your team.
Nah, he had that Baker Mayfield 2 days of prep time.
That's crazy.
Well, the difference between this, like Jake saying, like everybody kind of thought Baker was going to play in that game because Stafford was down.
Yeah.
They were down
for sure.
to,
They
like,
knew
the
they had
practice
to.
squad.
They knew they so at least he was throwing to his one receiver.
Yeah, it's like
this
he
is
had
even
to learn
crazier.
it in a day. Well, and if you remember, like I think it was Bryce Perkins or something started through like a pass, and then they're like, nope, Baker, get in there.
So I
and play.
imagine, Jake, they're probably on the sideline and they're going over like terminology of like. I mean, surely they're even telling Dobbs, like, okay, what do you what can I call that you recognize that it's what I'm calling?
So in the headset, it cuts off at 15 seconds. Kevin O'Connell said in his headset, I was telling him what I wanted him to do on his drop, what the concept was going to be, and what was going to be on his...
Okay, yeah, exactly. So, like, explaining the entire play,
what was going to be on his left, and then what was going to be on his right, going through the concept, and then the mic would cut off. So he's telling him, hey, 3-step drop, here's the concept, here's your read.
Yeah,
I mean,
like a sail or whatever. Like, that's
Yeah.
great, dude.
Oof. And he said, and every time a last-minute reminder, don't forget about your legs.
Dude, this is great. Greg LeMond says with Josh Dobbs, that's 15.6% of NFL teams in 45 weeks. He played for 15% of the NFL within a calendar year. Unreal. Hey, look at the Josh McDaniels tweet from Jay Glazer in there. Can y'all get that ready to play with audio? Any other weekend winners here, boys?
Good showing for the Bengals last night. Beat the Bills. 5 out of 6 wins after an 0-2 start. Season high for Joe Burrow, 348 yards, 2 touchdowns. Still a little behind the division there, behind Baltimore, but definitely heating up, and Joe Burrow looking like himself again.
It's insane how regular the Bengals are making starting bad, and then just getting so hot. How easy they're making that look.
I have one more real quick. I think this needs to be mentioned. Weekend winner is going to be Jameis Winston. I'm going to pull up a picture. Jameis hosted all of these women. All of them are either currently battling or have overcome breast cancer. He hosted all of them at the game yesterday. Took pictures with them, signed anything they wanted. Shout out Jameis Winston.
High character guy. We love to see it. I hated to see our Matt Rule, Nebraska love not come to fruition with a win. Big loss for the Hub there. But still love to see it. Great speech still.
Yeah. What was our... I don't even remember what we settled on now. You were Nebraska.
I ended up going to Nebraska. That loss.
We went 2-2.
We went
so
Ole
I
Miss.
took Kentucky minus 4.5.
Kansas.
They hit. He had Kansas plus 2.5. They won outright.
Yeah.
We lost Clemson, Notre Dame. We lost Nebraska, Michigan State.
Clemson,
Notre Dame. And then Mario, shout out Mario. He wanted Mizzou again, was shot down,
Yeah,
and
we
they
didn't
would
give
have
it to him.
absolutely covered.
You're right. So Mario would have been 2-0 in this week's parlay. I apologize for the Nebraska take.
After the speech, though,
it was with my heart.
After the speech, how could we not choose them?
Hey,
I mean, it just felt like it was going to
me
happen.
and Mario, we gotta carry the parlay. I get it. Like
I still kind of feel like
Are
Taylor
you saying that
ruined it.
Kentucky Mississippi State wasn't like something I was all over?
Yeah. I feel like we encourage you there. I feel like we
I
get credit
threw
for
it
that.
out there.
I feel like you should actually probably get the blame for Notre Dame, Clemson because you wanted Notre Dame.
Jake took Notre Dame, Clemson.
No, I think Taylor.
Never
I
said
think
a word.
Taylor did because I wanted Kentucky Mississippi State.
And Taylor ruined the parlay for the 3rd week in a row.
That is not true.
The chair.
Also, the one I lost last week, we went 2-2 that week as well, so I didn't technically ruin that one either.
Look, excuses are like buttholes, and you need to close yours
Look,
right
Mario,
now.
we can't have facts. We can't have facts on a Monday.
Give me the Josh McDaniels story. Weekend loser. Last one here. This is the story that Jay Glazer, and Jay Glazer knows. Like, Jay Glazer is one of those connected guys in the industry.
Jay would be in our locker room and weight room sometimes.
Everybody loves him.
Just randomly.
He just seems like cool as hell.
Jay, what you doing here?
I don't know. Like, everybody loved him, loved to train with him, everything else. But here's Jay Glazer on why Josh McDaniels got fired. I'm Jay Glazer. Not really. What's going on?
I'm getting it. Hang on.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the pontoon parlay's really sunk.
Death, Texas, and Burrow in November. I'll just keep reading local or just comments.
But for real though, like why do some teams have to have a slow start, or why do some teams falter at the end?
Yeah,
it's like it's part of the DNA. Feels like.
Are we ready now? Here's Jay Glazer.
Than the opponent.
You know, why don't we find out what happened inside that room? We talked about the players meeting. Jay Glazer, our NFL insider, just give us a scoop on exactly what went down as part of this transition.
Well, to piggyback off of what Howie was just saying, there was such a big disconnect with the players there and Josh McDaniels that players recently were going upstairs to the owner, Mark Davis, to tell them what their problems were. However, the big thing is last Thursday, there was this big airing of the grievance meeting, and players just unloaded on Josh McDaniels from captain to player to player. And finally, Josh McDaniels actually had Antonio Pierce get up and speak on behalf of him and the coaches. When Antonio Pierce got up there, he said, look, guys, we have to have our own culture. It's got to be about culture here. And we also have to look at it. And he brought up the old Giants team that beat the Patriots, Josh McDaniels' team, in the Super Bowl in 2007 season. He said, no matter who we played, we thought we could beat them. We had a game plan that we could beat them. We had to believe that, and that's not here. We have to believe it here at the Raiders. We could beat anybody. Well, he finishes up that speech. Everybody thinks they're great, except for Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels then goes over to him and says, don't ever talk about the Patriots like that. And then you really saw how divided that building got. That got up to Mark Davis, and I think Mark Davis looked at it and go, okay, I'm going to choose the guy who believes that we can win every single week, and that's what his plan is going to be. And by the way, this is not just a throwaway for Antonio Pierce where, he's just going to coach out the rest of the season. He has a shot to keep this job. That's
Bro, that is insane. That is legitimately insane. Like Josh McDaniels. First of all, how does Josh McDaniels? And by the way, Josh McDaniels is owed $50 million, so he's getting paid $50 million. How do you get to the point where somebody hires you for $50 million and you've been in the NFL for so long and you just fundamentally don't understand NFL locker rooms? It is mind blowing.
I think because that place in New England is just so different, and they've got their own little culture, if you want to call it that. They feel like they play by maybe a different set of rules.
Yeah.
They've had the Spygate, the Flagate. They've had all these things, right? They've had a lot of success as well. But we can ask Flynn about this. I mean, he's been in it. Bobby Carpenter was there for a little bit. He's like, dude, it's just different.
Yeah.
Like, there's just things go on. It's like robotic. Like, there's this weird feeling about it. I know that when I would play with guys that have been there before, it felt like they could, like, finally take a deep breath. That culture in that place, whatever it is, like, people buy into it, so you got to give them credit for that. But it's just different than the 31 other teams in the NFL.
$50 million, dude. How about that? Also, I mean, again, they should have kept Versace. Maybe they keep Pierce. Good
that's
first
what
show.
Taylor and I were talking about before the show. Hey, Raiders, just keep your interim coach.
Yeah.
Like, you went out there, like, you had Rich Bisaccia. He led you to the playoffs. You move on from him. He's now in Green Bay. And you hire Josh McDaniels, give him all this money. He ain't worth the crap. And then, like, Antonio Pierce, like, feels like, okay, well, look, he's got the players' attention. And at the NFL level, man, that's such a big part of it, because a lot of times they're not going to be coordinators.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes they are, but a lot of times it's about, like, how can you get the information to your team in the best way, and how do, you get them ready to play, and just, like, can you speak to them and actually mean something to them? And, like, do you have the ear of the team and all that kind of stuff? And so, yeah, the Raiders are going to Raider, which, as a Charger fan, I appreciate it, and I'm glad that they do, but just don't try to be too smart. You're not going to be the Patriots.
No.
That's not who you are. Your culture is completely different than theirs.
Don't talk about the Patriots
don't try to be
that way. McDaniels, you little potato-looking son of a gun. $50 million. All right, when we get back, we're going very long more OTB. Keep it locked.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Get Gordon and get it done. 225-888-8888. You get in an accident, no need to be afraid of the big insurance companies. You get Gordon and get somebody who's going to fight and win for you. Something we haven't talked about yet, Jake. The champ is here. That's right. Women's basketball back tonight. Ranked on ranked matchup in the PMAC to start. Let's friggin' go, dude. Remember, the entire team, they on the G team, including Coach Mulkey yourself. Get Gordon, get it done.
Yeah, I cannot wait to get those conversations with Coach Mulkey back going here on OTB. Go to getgordon.com. That is the website. Remember, so if you're already at work right now, you can't dial the 8s. It's okay. You can have a chat right there on the website. You can find all the information, past client results, cases they can handle for you. T-Bob gave you the social media there. All major social media, the handle at Get Gordon, where you can find the information there. But if you want to pick up the phone, anywhere in the state of Louisiana, area code followed by 888-8888. Get Gordon and get it done.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
His name is King. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
Bayou Ford has the new inventory to get you in a new Ford truck or SUV today, or customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Here we go.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated.
Join me for a Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, recapping LSU and Bama and Brian Kelly's press conference and Saints and Bears. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I see you move, I'm checking your smile, working your back like it's going out of style. Shake just a little bit faster, shake just a little now, girl. dying to meet you, so let's mess around. Got an obsession with us getting down. Come just a little.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. Roll Tide says, nope, Jughead. T-Bob said 4 weeks LSU would blast Alabama. He was another drunk that was wrong. Yeah, and guess what? I'm going to keep drinking, and I'm going to do that ish again, okay? So just recognize, all you bought yourself was a 364-day reprieve till I'm back up in that ass, okay? Just know, I ain't stopping. We coming, like Coach Joe said.
Trust me when I say you are not going to steal the sunshine of this show this week because it's Florida week, okay?
It's Florida week. We got the national champs return night. I said, PMAC, I apologize. It's in Vegas. Can we play that Mulkey hotel room video? This is probably my favorite video of the weekend. Number 1 versus number 20 night. The Colorado Buffs ranked 20th in the country. Here is Coach Mulkey. Somebody tweeted stars. They're just like us. It was probably Evan Sachs. He's so funny on Twitter. But here's Coach Mulkey in her Vegas hotel room, chilling, eating wings in bed, watching the football game.
We got the views. Can you see the views? We in Vegas with it. We got Mulkey eating some chicken wings.
Watching that ball game.
Okay, we got the game on. It's halftime. Kramer, what up? Daff, what up? This is her room.
Yep.
Where we at? Oh, of course she got a tub. All right. We're going around. We got all this.
Well, that's a big room.
Oh, hold on. I can't let y'all see her fit. Hold on. I'm going to come back through here. Here we go. Let's see the bathroom. She got a tub always. All right. We got a whole situation in here. All right. I can't let y'all see her fit. All right. But yeah. Casa de Mulkey.
Damn. Look at that. Sweet, dog. Yeah. So that's funny. So I didn't know that was a Coach Mulkey thing. She just needs a tub.
Almost every like athlete that I know enjoys a good soak.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, just
it's
saying,
true.
Our body aches a little bit. Got some aches and pains. Just got sitting there sometimes.
How about can we clip watching the ball game? Because that is play it one more time. Just give me the watching the ball game again. That is my favorite part of the video.
Yeah, and truly just eating wings.
Yeah.
Vegas with it. We got Mulkey eating some chicken wings.
Watching that ball game.
Okay.
Watching that ball game. Love it.
Dude, hell yeah. All right. Let's do a couple Saints thoughts here, and then we're going to break. We'll come back with more Saints thoughts. Look, yesterday, big win. And I've already seen some chatter in there about, are we going to talk about how the Saints won the turnover battle by 5, but only won the game by 7? I get it. I understand what you're saying. But look, we've seen how flawed this Saints team is this year. Like, we've seen how bad they can be. And so I'm not going to take any win for granted or be upset, especially on a day in which your NFC South rivals lose in such good positions that they were in, right? And so instead of being upset about creating 5 turnovers, I'm going to celebrate creating 5 turnovers because I thought Paulson Debo was absolutely fantastic. I think Brian Brzee looks like a legitimately really good first-round pick. Continues to make plays.
Thank you.
I know.
Thank you to
a
the man
good
upstairs.
Defensive lineman, first-round pick.
Oh.
I think that Carl Granderson is so consistent right now. It's absolutely fantastic.
He might be my favorite non-Charger in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, truly might be. Like, I love Carl Granderson.
Yeah.
The way he plays, he's gotten paid already, and maybe plays even harder after he got paid. He is relentless. Like, and it's a great story of Peyton Turner and Marcus Davenport and even Isaiah Foskey. First round, second round. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but you use so much draft capital on that, and sometimes you have to give yourself over to the guy that was not drafted high, the guy that just makes the most sense. It doesn't matter who you drafted. This is the best player, and I love the fact that the Saints are like, you know what, he is. We're going to pay him, and every snap. If you're watching the game and you want to show your child how to play football at any level, what you're supposed to do and the way that you're supposed to go about it, watch Carl Granderson.
Yeah. I mean, just constant motor and kind of representative of of Cam Jordan in that way. Like, that's how Cam Jordan's made a lot. And Matt Ryan was right when he said that on the broadcast. By the way, Matt Ryan, I like him. Came off very likable in the booth. Am I crazy?
I do like that Cam Jordan, before the game, came up and hit him from behind.
One of the best moments of the weekend, and Ryan was like, I thought I was done with this crap, dude. Like, I've suffered so much pain at the hands of this man. And again, he comes up out of nowhere from behind.
Yeah, y'all should watch his face on that video, too, because that looked like it legitimately hurt. Like, Ryan cringed when Cam Jordan hit him.
Well, look, Cam Jordan's a big man.
I think, some people believe that we store physical trauma, right? Like memories almost in our body.
Yeah.
And so Cam Jordan was probably like affecting some sort of synapse in Matt Ryan's brain where he's like,
the
like,
temperature of his breath on the back of his neck probably triggered some stuff.
But no, I thought Matt Ryan was great. But he's right. Like, Cam Jordan does a lot of his stuff with a high motor. Granderson's the same way, super high motor.
Man. You know who else like is starting to really stand out is Paulson Adebo. And not just the interceptions. I'm talking about just watching him route by route.
Yeah.
I mean, he is really starting. And remember, I know you go back, but like him missing a year of football, right, during the COVID year, like you just wonder, like, okay, well, how much did that take away from his game? Because I feel like he gets better and better and better and just keeps continuing to grow.
Yeah, I agree. He's really working out fantastically. The entire Saints secondary played really well, obviously. All right, let's do this. Let's go to break. When we get back, let's talk a little offense, talk a little groupie and others. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
K2Z window coverings. K2ZBlinds.com. KTOZBlinds.com. You want window coverings that wow? Whether it's custom blinds, windows, plantation shutters, more. Really, whatever you're looking for, they have. But the best part is, Jake, you may not even fully know what you're looking for because you don't understand the depth or complexity that goes into window covering decisions, both from an aesthetic and functional standpoint, like Brandon Barton does because he's been doing this for 25 years. So whether it's like a man cave, a bedroom, an outdoor living space, anything that you're trying to bring up to the next level, you want K2Z. K2ZBlinds.com.
T-Bob, I mean, I've been saying it over the last couple of weeks. I fully expected, hey, you come in, hey, here's what we got, and here's what you're going to get. I had no idea that, one, there was options, one, there was multiple colors, and one, like it mattered where the sun was setting depending on what kind of blind you're going to get. That's interior, exterior. Right, like T-Bob's talking about. It's the attention to detail. They come in, they say exactly what is best for your space. Go to the website, K2ZBlinds.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch, Hunt Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one product is always customer satisfaction. Visit us online at reliefwindows.com.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Scoocha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We're recapping the big one in T-Town, Tigers and Tide, and Saints Bears from the Dome. Join us for Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back. Saints talk rolling on right now. Ooh, that. Look, I know that this Saints team is flawed in the red zone, but I will be damned if I don't give them credit for trying to figure it out. They're getting very creative. They're really starting to lean on the Taysom Hill package.
I was about to say, just take Derek Carr out.
Yes, no, I mean,
and that's what's worked well.
Legitimately.
Because he's really good from the 20 to the 20.
Yes, and he's not good in the red. And you know, we are firm believers in criticism when criticism's due and credit when credit is due. And Pete Carmichael deserves credit for getting very creative and taking his $35, $40 million. We got to commit to this resource that we have in Taysom. Jet sweep fakes to get a lead outside. You're running Kalen Saunders just a normal lead blocks, which it was interesting to see the Texans on, or excuse me, the Texans. It was interesting to see them on one of them, Jake, try to blow it up by just submarining Saunders, which is probably actually the correct way to handle that instead of like trying to take him on.
I thought that was illegal. I thought you couldn't do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought you couldn't do that anymore. I know you can't do it out in screens. I don't know if it's like an inside the box type situation where you can, but I know that if you do it on a screen now, it is a 15-yard penalty.
Okay.
Basically, they want you to take the Vlade Divac, take the charge.
Yeah. Well, they did not. That was it. But then again, credit to the Saints for being like, oh wait, we have Taysom Hill. He can throw it. You know, like he doesn't have to run it. So the red zone struggles are not solved, but you're doing a great job. And this was a big value of Taysom Hill game, boys. You know, somebody, I think it was Jeff Nowak, the Saints sideline reporter for WDL, tweeted this a couple weeks ago and said the best way to frame Taysom Hill's contract is through touchdown production. And I could maybe dig up the tweet. It might be kind of hard to find, but he just names other guys around the league who make similar amounts. And basically, like for his contract, Taysom Hill is very productive from a touchdown standpoint, which is massive. I still think Jamal Charles kind of has a lost role in all of this kind of because of it. But Jamal Charles, I did again.
I know. Jamal Williams.
But still, whatever. It is what it is. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, Taysom Hill's been awesome.
Yeah, I think there's a role for all of those players. But, you know, Taysom, to me, it's never been a Taysom situation. It's been how you've used Taysom. It's not like he hadn't been able to get the job done. It's like you just inconsistent with how you used him. Now it's like they've said, you know what? We are going to give ourselves over to him being the guy down there. And now they have a better idea. And you hear on the broadcast all these coaches being like, look, there's no comp. There's no comp for a guy like that. This is not a wildcat situation. This guy can make every throw in the route tree, right? Now, can he do that to be a starting quarterback in the NFL? Probably not, but he can do it certainly well enough for us to stay up at night and have the cold sweats because of it. And all these coaches know that he is such a weapon because it truly is multiple things that you have to prepare for. And the Saints are finally doing a really good job of figuring out how to utilize, I think, Taysom Hill. And then, like, when you look at, I think Williams can be somebody that he's probably your best pass protector. So I do think he has a role on this team, but AK is just so valuable receiving the football. Like, even though he's struggling in pass protection, You just have to have his threat out there because he's dynamic. And so they've got to find something if they want Williams to be a part of it, because now it's like short yardage is going to be Taysom Hill. Like, even though you're the best pass protector on the team, like AK is the best receiving back that we have. So I'm not really sure where his role is going to end up.
Now, Kendre Miller did get hurt. So maybe the value.
I mean, Jamal Williams started the game.
There. Yeah.
He got 2 carries, if I'm not mistaken, right, Mario?
Yeah, he got a couple carries.
Yeah.
He was in there a lot to block, too.
So Taysom, though, he does end up setting an NFL record, right? He now has 10 touchdowns of each kind.
Yes. Yeah, the first since Frank Gifford.
Okay, so not the first ever.
Not the first.
Frank Gifford, who played in the 50s, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, as a receiver, he has really improved. I mean, it is something where he is somebody you can count on catching the football. Like, just think about that. Like, a guy that was once your starting quarterback at this level is now somebody that can run, can throw, but now you can count on him as a receiver.
Well, it's one of those things where we talked about, it's like, oh, Taysom's going to be considered a tight end on the roster, how good he's going to be. It's gotten to the point now to where it's like, if Juwan Johnson and Foster Moreau go down, you actually feel comfortable about Taysom being your every down tight end at this point. I mean, he's that good at catching the ball right now.
Yeah. I mean, blocking, is there challenges? Yeah, absolutely. But he's big enough to not fall into a tendency where he can block an outside backer. He can certainly get up on a safety on a corner because he's physical enough to do that as well.
I feel like, too, Jake, I'd like your insight on this. It feels like to me as a runner, Taysom Hill's kind of patience, when to explode, developing it is so far beyond where it was a couple of years ago.
Yes, it's no longer hitting the line of scrimmage with your hair on fire.
Yeah.
It is being patient. So when you're in that situation, like if you're going to run a gap scheme run, you can't just go try to hit the line as fast as you can. That's not what that play is. Because if you're running a power, you've got a puller in front of you. You've got to allow that puller, who's 300-plus pounds, to get out and decide, he's got to read it as well, too. So he's reading the blocking scheme. You have to read him off what he's reading, and so it does take time to develop. In a counter run, you've got multiple pullers, and so all of that is timing, and that's why you see Taysom now. He'll catch the football, he'll wait a tick, he'll step back, and then he'll go. That's what you have to do. And trust me when I say, you're like, well, yeah, shouldn't he do that? It is damn hard to do that. Like, even as a running back, when my toes are at 7.5, remember, his are at 5. That's a big difference as well because he's taking the snap at quarterback. So, like, as a running back, I have 2.5 more yards to be patient. He's got to catch the ball, and he's got 11 people with bad intentions, eyeballing him, and he's got to know that I still have to have the patience.
It's trust in your teammates.
Yes, to allow my puller to get out in front of me. He's got to read it because he might kick out. He might have a log block situation where he's got to go all the way around, and he's doing a really nice job of really being patient. Like T-Bob said, trusting his blockers, and it really feels like he is in a great sweet spot right now of what he should be and what he probably should have been for the last couple of years, but for whatever reason, they didn't have that. And he had to play quarterback a little bit, so that kind of messed up probably some of his role.
He literally had to learn to do these things on an NFL level over the past 2-3 seasons or whatever. And at 33 years old, it's crazy that he remains appreciating in value where normally at this time, that's where you're supposed to start to physically deteriorate. But he's always been a physical freak, and that's really carrying him.
To Taylor's point real quick, him and Juwan Johnson, they had the same exact run blocking grade.
Wow.
I mean, that's something that you have to utilize. You have to use that as a weapon to break tendency.
All right, when we get back, we'll wrap up Saints Talk, hour number 3. Well, we still have spread lines coming up, and I'm sure through hour 3 we'll kind of just weave in and out of Saints and LSU. I got a few more things I want to talk about. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Go
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The importance of doing this Fortified program and offering it to people down here is, number one, the only real chance you're going to get to do this is when you put on a new roof or build new. And through companies like HUDCO, who's kind of leading the way in this thing, it's going to offer the customers a huge advantage in the insurance market and the price of their insurance.
You know, we're not looking to make a fortune off fortifying. We're trying to give you a better product than our competitor at the moment. I'm trying to do something that he can. I'm trying to give you something better. So a lot of these insurance jobs, you're getting a re-roof, you're only paying your deductible. Let's sit down and talk about the Fortified and let's see what it does to your insurance premium. You're getting a steal.
Yeah.
You're getting a brand new roof and a Fortified certificate for your deductible, essentially. And I think we're rocking and rolling.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
From O'Reilly Auto Parts today, and we'll install them for free. See better and drive safer with O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Join me for a Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, recapping LSU and Bama and Brian Kelly's press conference and Saints and Bears. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. Wrapping up hour number 2 here. Again, I'm not sure how to feel about Blake Grupe. I don't feel great. I hesitate to go too hard, though, because a lot of people are accusing me of having some sort of just anti-Blake Grupe bias or something. It just felt questionable to get rid of Lua Lutz, and it continues to feel questionable. It's just, you got a rookie kicker. It's just not going well. We'll see. We'll see how it ends up. That was a big punt from Lou Hedley at the end. You need that. Who made the play to bat that out of bounds?
Isaac Yadam.
Yeah. Oh, Yadam. Okay.
Incredible play.
Remember how we're when we see the final 53, we're like, who's Yadam? How did where did he come from? And that's that's why he's on the team. He's had other big plays this season. Don't get me wrong, but that's that special teams dog play that makes you a legend.
That was a good effort. It was a good moment, but they're not getting what they need out of Headley, man. Like
No,
Underhill came on here and talked about his hang time. There's a lot of situations where like it's 4th and 3 from like the 40, and the Saints will end up punting and getting like 20 yards on the net punt.
I thought that was. I mean, I know it worked out. I thought that first one was kind of a weak punt.
Yeah, you can't punt from the 40 and have it land on the 10. Like,
also, if you kick it from the 55, if he makes a 55-yarder, which credit to Groupie, like. You don't go for 58? I thought that was kind of interesting as well.
Yeah, and here's also, like, you can't fall into it if you're the Saints. Just because you made the tough decision to keep that kicker and punter combination, you can't be stubborn.
You can't be like, oh, we have to hire him now.
Because let me tell you something. That position is always a revolving door in the NFL. Yeah. Now, if you have one that you feel really good about, man, you got to pay them. You got to keep them because it's hard to find a trio because they'll throw long snapper in there as well. But you can't be hard-headed. Yes, you made a tough decision to let go of a couple of vets to keep these guys, but if they don't continue to like raise their level of play, you got to make a move. There's too many good kickers out there on the. The Chargers got Dicker the kicker after the Eagles cut him, and he's made like 29 straight field goals.
Yeah,
like those guys are on the street right now. It's a position that
it's the most replaceable position in football, and all likelihood,
without question.
Let's see.
Hey, Saints, Brad Wing's already in Baton Rouge. Just like call him up. He was a Steelers punter a couple weeks ago. He's Australian too.
I'm trying to see here where. Okay, so Will Lutz has made 86% of his kicks. He's 13 of 15. You never want to have to click next page.
Groupie's 18 to 23 on the season. He's made 78% of his kicks.
You got to be above 80% in the modern NFL. It is what it is. You just have to be. Does Brett Myers still kick for the Cowboys?
No. Okay, so
because he's bad this year.
No, they had the kicker that played in the MLS, and
he set a record yesterday.
Yeah,
best start to his NFL career, 19 of 19 on field goals this year. Yeah,
okay,
and that was a question mark for him coming into the year.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Coming up, hour 3 of OTB. Stick around, hit the like button. Go to Patient Plus Urgent Care, patientplusuc.com, where you are going to see the difference, and you'll see it immediately when you just look at the facilities. The technology they employ, the digital profile system where you just sign in on the iPad when you walk in. It's so easy. Limited paperwork. You get in, you get out, you get better. Again, ask about the Patient Plus membership. It's a monthly fee, or you just pay for the whole year in one fell swoop. And if you go twice in a calendar year, you're already saving money. And you get unlimited visits, steroid shots, COVID tests, cold, flu, whatever, shingles. You want Patient Plus Urgent Care, patientplusuc.com.
Ooh, shingles. Patientplusuc.com. You can also go ahead and schedule that appointment on that website. You can find that list of locations. If you're in the Baton Rouge area, there's going to be one convenient for you. Remember, 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., and so the hours are going to work well for you as well. Patientplusuc.com. Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Scoocha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Monday, November 6th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 84. Coming up on OTB, we have a new edition of Weekend Winners. Never mind, we already did that. But Hold the Mayo joins the show at 9:15. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Welcome back, OTB, hour number 3. Having a good time this morning. Again, I feel oddly at peace with the LSU loss because there was kind of a finality, a clarity that was given to me about who this team is, what the problems are, and probably what needs to happen in the offseason. I don't know how Matt House comes back from this, but maybe he does. I don't know. Maybe he finishes strong. Going into this Florida week, I think it's going to be fascinating to see whether or not Jaden is able to play. It feels like people don't really come back from concussions nowadays after a week. Maybe not even because, the player would probably still want to meathead their way in there, but you have to be protected from yourself, and it feels like they err on the side of caution. So if we see Garrett Nussmeier, that's going to be fascinating. It's very interesting. Now, I did accidentally attack Taylor during a commercial break for a semantic misunderstanding where it felt like to me he said that, look, this season's over. You may as well just play Nussmeier so we can see what you have, which caused me to go into a quick rage. That is not what he meant. He simply meant that it is interesting to think about seeing Nussmeier in a big spot. And I agree with that, right? But again, the season's, like my whole point of that, the season's not over.
Oh, no, for sure.
You can still win 10 games. 10-3 is still your goal every single year to remain one of the top programs in college football. You can still play in a New Year's Six Bowl. Hell, you might play against Tulane in New Year's Six Bowl if you take care of business. Like that's kind of lining up right now. But so the season's not over, and I want Jaden Daniels to play all of the football he can. I think he can still make it to New York. Again, we'll just have to monitor his health throughout the week.
Yeah, every situation when you're in concussion protocol is going to be a little bit different. Like we don't know how he's feeling today. We don't know the severity of it. We don't know if he passed concussion test, but they were like, no, there's something that we're not seeing. We don't know. And we'll find that out, I guess, a little bit later today. But if you do have to play your backup quarterback, this is why you felt really good about your quarterback room. You felt like in a day and age where you don't have the really ability, it feels like, to have two really good quarterbacks that you feel good about. You've had that at LSU. And so Garrett Nussmeier is somebody that he's played a lot of football. Taylor was, talking about he hadn't had a start yet. It is wild. He's played a lot, but he has not officially had a start yet. Remember Arkansas when Max Johnson was here. He went in that second series and played the rest of the game. And so, if you have to play your backup quarterback, LSU, you're going for your 5th straight win against the Florida Gators. That has never been done before. You're currently right now in the longest winning streak you've had against Florida in a series that we were looking it up during the break, T.
This is so crazy.
33 wins, 33 losses, and 3 ties.
Not even like 4 ties or 5 ties. No, just threes across the board. Unbelievable. Think about that. That means 69 years, 69 years of results have resulted in a complete 500 tie in every single way. That's unreal.
And this is a series that even I didn't realize this until Chris Doering kind of brought it to my attention, because I thought it became a thing like in the 90s. I had no idea that they've played every year since 1971.
Damn.
I honestly, I did not know that they played until like a year ago. I did not know they played every year since 1971. I mean, this is a game. So, to have, I think Florida's longest streak might be 8. They went from 88 to, I think, 96. And then, of course, a huge win in 97. Now, Florida dominated this series from 88 to 2001, getting only 1 win, and that was in 97. But you have certainly dominated it as of late. Since let's see, if we go back to 2010, I mean, you've won every game but 3. You lost in 12, 16, and 18. But, I mean, you have had a firm hold on this series right now. So, 33, 33, and 3.
Unbelievable. What a just wonderful numerical quirk. 69 games in your time. In a lot of ways, representative of the number 69, which is a number that celebrates equivalent exchange. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's a number where both sides are doing what the other one wishes simultaneously. And so in the way, the very number 69 is its own sort of equivalent series. That's fascinating. Dane Bergeron asked an interesting question. He says, how much better off are we with Brian Kelly? Is he $100 million better than Ed Orgeron? Other than the Bam win last year, what big games he won at LSU? Well, so, okay, I know how it's easy to feel that way, and I'm not going to say that it justifies a $100 million difference, whatever, right? Ultimately, he has to bring home a natty for everybody to be happy, right? That's been the case since day one. But we do have to be objective here. And the last 2 years of the O era, you were 2 games under 500. You went 10-4 last year. You still have a chance to win 10 games this year. Yeah, I mean, I would say that's okay. You're moving that's a fine progression there. He's going to have to win a natty. That is the entire impetus behind all of this. But I don't think it's some abject disaster that a year and a half in, you're not on the level of an Alabama that's been cooked and baked to perfection by Nick Saban for the past 15 years. Like Kelly said it before the game, and some are going to want to say, well, excuses, but he basically said that before the game. He talked about how, we're a year and a half into this thing, so we'll see.
He took over a program that wasn't in a good place. You go back and look at Saban, he did the same thing at LSU. They were not in a good place.
Yeah.
He loses 4 games year 1.
True.
Kelly lost 4 games year 1. Year 2, Saban went 10-3. Kelly has a chance to also go 10-3. So I get it. You want to compete for national titles every year, but he's pacing exactly where Saban was, exactly where Les Miles was. They both won championships in years 3 and 4. He's not far off from that pace.
I would say the thing that hurts is that you have the championship level offense, right? That's what really hurts is you have a guy who's a true Heisman level quarterback and you feel like you underachieved because the other side of the ball was so weak. And then what hurts worse is even though there are personnel issues, you don't feel like you're maximizing that defensive side of the ball. It feels like you're taking personnel issues and you're exacerbating them a bit with the philosophies and with the calls that you're making and the development of the players. Mason Smith, we talk about the lowest graded guys off air, Jake, and you asked me blind, and we were all over it because what we say, Jordan Jefferson, Mason Smith, and Omar Spates.
Yeah.
And they were all the lowest graded guys on defense. And when you see a lot of talented guys on that defensive line not matching the production that we believe they should have, it's on the players. But again, I do think that the development of these guys has been severely stunted by the coaching. So that's disappointing. And then it's disappointing that for the second year in a row, you seem to come out of camp with just a complete misunderstanding of who you are. Like, you're really good at midseason adjustments, but I don't know what you're doing during camp to not understand at all who you are. So like, if we're doing just a full health check on the BK error, which is what you do after big games, that's how I would score it. Overall, pacing fine. Those are the quibbles I have. Let's see if they can get it fixed.
Yeah, getting to the SEC championship game last year was fantastic. It was fun, but it probably blurred what the expectation should have been.
Fair.
I think when you get to an SEC championship game, it's like, okay, well, the next step is what? Well, the next step is winning the SEC, right? Getting to a college football playoff. And you were probably ahead of schedule there. Now, you won those games, you deserve to be there, but I think some of that comes into play. Like Taylor's saying, if you continue to stay on that same trend that you've had and the other coaches that have won a national championship, then you're going in the right direction.
Yeah.
LSU's never a place where you're going to be okay just being okay, so it's got to improve, it's got to get better. Like, I think you have to go 10-3 this year to not have the season be a failure.
Really good call here by Greg Lamont. I agree. We're really feeling the loss of Jamar Cain. Yeah. Underrated loss this offseason for the Saints. Do you have that?
Screw you, Sean Payton. This y'all's king, Sean Payton.
Did the Broncos win or lose this weekend?
I'm not sure, honestly.
I don't think they played.
I think they had to buy. Yeah, they had to buy.
Do you have that Michael Thomas video ready, or the Saints one from 8:45?
Yeah, I have it ready.
All right. Here is, and this is, I want to show that I think that Michael Thomas has really matured into a great leader. Understand that what Thomas is about to say as he calls it up here at the end of the day, where what do you end up with, one catch?
I think zero.
Maybe zero catches, but only one target then is what it was. So not a day in which Michael Thomas got featured at all, and yet here's what he said after the game.
It's not easy to win in our league, okay? And it doesn't matter who you're playing, and it doesn't matter where you're playing, okay? It's freaking hard to win in our league, all right? And at the end of the day, that's what this business is all about, okay? It's not about anything about individuals, okay? It's about our group coming together as a team and winning a game. And that's exactly what we did, okay? Defense, okay? Next week, let's come out and act like halftime. Yes, sir. You with me? All right? Because we've proven over and over and over again, okay, that when we're doing it right and we're doing what we're capable of doing, we're pretty damn good. Hell yeah. Okay? When we do our own, it ain't worth it. It's just not. Okay? Offense. Okay? That's a hell of a job of finishing this thing out. Yes, sir. You with me? Hell of a job of finishing this thing out. Now, okay, we're not at that point yet. Okay? We're not at that point yet. We are going to keep pushing the gas. Okay? Keep pushing the gas. Keep pushing the gas. And that's a hell of a win, man. Congratulations to all you guys.
Hey, because it was necessary.
Listen up.
Hey,
listen up.
Let's continue to build. Let's stay on this road, man. Let's stay on this road of winning. That's all that matters at the end of the day, man. Come out here. Let's come out here, get better, find ways to improve, and focus on winning. Every week, week in and week out, man. Family on three. 1, 2, 3. Family.
Yeah. Love that. Love that at the end there for Mike Thomas. A younger Mike Thomas would not have said that. And would not have felt that way. And he is still a very good player, but it's been fantastic to watch him mature into a leader for this Saints team, who now, man, sports are so much fun because things vacillate so quickly. A couple weeks ago, we hate him. Not Mike Thomas. We hate the Saints, right? They're awful. They suck, blah, blah, blah. And now we're like, okay, dude, 5-4. The South sucks. Taysom Hill, the offense is figuring it out. Everything feels a lot better on this Monday.
Yes, it does. And those are games you have to win. And he's right. Like, you don't care about spreads in the NFL. Spreads, be damned. Like, you don't care about that. You don't care what it looks like. You don't care if you win 2-0, 3-2, 7-5. Like, that does not matter. Like, you just got to go out there and win games. And certainly when you're in a division where you feel like that if you're 10-7, that's certainly going to get the job done.
Yeah.
Maybe even 9-8. And so to stack wins like they're doing, that's exactly what you have to do, because you have a veteran team, you have a lot of weapons, and if you continue to get hot, right, even though you've looked bad at times, if you get hot at the right time, getting into the postseason, it's just about getting into the tournament.
I'm going to read a wrong comment, but it's dark humor. Yeah, says Groupie looking like a Make-A-Wish kid in the locker room. Yeah, that's again, that is wrong. That's a dark joke. But it is funny. And it's pretty accurate. Yodak Barabucci says Mason Smith has to have the worst grade. What was his grade? What was it, like 55?
Nah, it was lower than that. It was in the 40s.
Yeah. God, the delve into the D-line is the most disappointing part of this group. The program director said Spates had the worst grade.
Nope.
I don't think so.
It was Mason had the worst grade.
Yeah. Well,
I can go back to it. Hold on 1
what
second.
it is.
I will get you. Give me 5 seconds.
Was that groupie in the front row looking like a 14-year-old wearing a Halloween costume with a flat bill hat? Greg Long, but groupie looks like me if I was in an NFL locker room. It is kind of great where, like, we always talk about representation mattering, and for every just regular skinny white guy, like, you now are represented in the NFL by Blake Groupie.
Here's the 5 lowest grades for LSU defensively in the game. Sage Ryan, 58.1. Harold Perkins, 49.7. Omar Spates, 48.7. Jordan Jefferson, 46. And Mason Smith, 45.5. Lowest grades. The highest grade.
I think it just threw up my mouth a little bit.
Braden Swinson, 76.5.
Okay. Swinson's great.
And then followed by Major Burns and Greg Penn and Jacobian Guillory.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep. Tank graded out at 66.3%.
What did Toviano grade out at?
62.3.
Okay.
Play 68 plays out of 70, though.
Jamie says you never hear any of our D linemen's names called. I know. That's the problem. Like, nobody flashes. Nobody really flashes. All right. All right, when we get back, let's do some spread lines with our guy Hold the Mayo. Keep it locked, man.
OTB, OT.
ITI Technical College, iticollege.edu, iticollege.edu. ITI Technical College is there for you if you want to change your life, take control of your life. You got a job, but you want a career, one where you are, look, man, if you just look at the stats, the return on investment for what you're going to make in your career versus what you spend on ITI is the best in the state. Top 20 in the country, in fact. It's a Georgetown study. That's not me just saying that. So, look, they're celebrating 50 years. If you're an alum, go find them on social media. Look at the calendar for what they got going on this fall. But, again, the real thing here is take control of your life. ITI will work with you every step along the way. ITI Technical College.
Yeah, when you go to that website, look over to the right side of the webpage, and you can follow them Facebook, X, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, all that right there. It's got a link to it, so you can click on that, find out all that information. iticollege.edu is the website. 877-591-1070 is the number. Go see them off Airline Highway as well, iticollege.edu.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Scoocha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
It was a humid day. Barefoot children play, looking for that summer shade. Time just slips away. Oh, Louisiana, some kind of hold on me. Like cypress stumps, your roots are planted deep inside of me.
Running Parts Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs, even in the case of an after-hours emergency. the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly...
Moscona inviting to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We're recapping the big one in T-Town, Tigers and Tide, and Saints Bears from the Dome. Join us for Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Right in the sternum this time, T-baby. You already know. You already know. You already know. This that hustler music, young Beastie got that money. Hustler music, so ride to it, y'all, vibe to it, y'all.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Who Dat for Life Chris says, T-Bob, how they hanging? Has the copium kicked in, or are your lows still your highs? Take your time. I don't fully understand. I feel healthy, though, which has me in an infinitely good mood. The Saints winning and the rest of the NFC South losing definitely helps the mood. And again, the clarity provided by the Alabama game, in which you lost to a team that is clearly better than you. And now I'm done teasing myself, knowing that, with the idea that maybe LSU can be championship good. They're good. They're good. They're not great. You played two great teams, FSU and Bama, and the games played out in the exact same fashion. So I'm feeling actually pretty damn good on this Monday, dog. I mean, we feeling up. Let's talk to our guy, Deb Snow, a.k.a. Hold the Mayo, made the executive decision to stay at home for yesterday's game. Mayo, what's up, bro? How we feeling today?
Feeling good. That guy just wanted to make sure you were healthy, T-Bob.
Okay, hell yeah.
He's just checking up on your health. No, we good, man. Yeah, it's weird how that works out. You believe in that LSU's doing so good the way, we might have a chance, and then it shifts right back to the Saints like that, you know, and they 5-4, but, they get a chance. Football's crazy, dude.
But it's okay. Like, I don't know. I guess you'll probably find audio of me out there if you somehow did the digging of me being like, we have to remain more level-headed. But the older I get doing this job, Dev, I think it's really fun to lean into the highs and lows, right? To allow yourself to ride the roller coaster of we freaking suck. It's okay, actually we're kind of good. I'm going to react to whatever I see on the field.
Yeah, some of the best times of my life were when the Saints just made the playoffs, It was just everything ends at one point. Of course, we want to do the best, but you got to enjoy the season. And the Saints definitely making you just kind of enjoy the season. You can't really yesterday's game. I didn't walk away feeling I want to go yell in the sky, who dat? It wasn't. It was just another win against a pretty not good team.
Oh, really? See, I kind of did. I kind of left wanting to yell who dat after the disappointment of the night before, the great defensive plays, some red zone creativity.
The Buccaneers losing a heartbreaker.
Colin Sanders freaking running jet sweep motions
that was
into
fun.
Blocks. I kind of had fun yesterday, man.
I just worry about the kicker, man. That's the only thing, bro, because the kicker can lose you games when it matters, and it's Groupie missed that field goal. I go on Twitter. I don't even know how to say his name. I'll just try. Dare Ogunbowale.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see him make a field goal, and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, bro, we got to move on, you missing kicks in the Dome. You're not missing kicks in Chicago or Pittsburgh.
Cleveland.
You missing kicks in the Dome, dude. So I'm just really worried about that. But, look, when Saints fans are calling me, saying, hey, what's Hartley doing? That's when you know we in the special teams gutter.
Yeah,
you know?
What is Hartley doing, dude? What'd you say? Have you talked to him? Have you had him in spread quarters yet?
No, I haven't talked to guys.
Dev, you had Tracy Porter. You were smoking weed with Tracy Porter in spread quarters. That has to be like a pinch yourself. I mean, I remember when we first had you on, Dev, after you saying that you wouldn't throw bread at the Ducks with Sims, right? I believe it was Chris Sims or whoever, right? Isn't that right?
It was Cowherd or Sims.
Yeah.
He can't say Cowherd anymore.
Years
that's his
and
boss.
years. Yeah, that's my boss. I got my volume sweatshirt on. Relax. Shout out, Colin. I love you.
I said I wouldn't pump $5 of gas with Cowherd.
Colin, please renew snaps after this season, please. I mean, to go from there, bro, to now, smoking weed with the Saints Super Bowl hero on your show in this awesome studio you built, it had to feel like a "what has my life become" moment.
Absolutely. Usually I'll just be like, whatever, but no, it was crazy, man. Because I come from sitting on the couch watching all y'all, dude. I didn't go to like school for this. I didn't play ball or anything like that. So yeah, it was super surreal. And it's just like nobody. You go look up Tracy Porter, all you're gonna find on the internet is the Super Bowl play and just like memorable highlights of like fans going crazy after it. There's nothing on Tracy Porter interview-wise. Nothing. Not one video, not one clip, nothing. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why me?
It's awesome, man. It's incredible.
Tracy's a good dude. I got a chance to be teammates with him in Denver, so that was really cool to see there, Dev. Dev, I do want to go back to Groupie, though. The thing about the Saints, they can cut the kicker. They just don't have to be stubborn about it. Like, if they want to move on, it is a position that every single Monday, basically across the league, there's like 4 kickers out there trying out just so you can get a book on which kickers are available and which ones you like. So even if you like your kicker, kickers and punters are out there every single Monday because you want to know who's out there, who's available, and do I like this player. So the thing is, if they want to make a move, it ain't like it's quarterback or receiver or safety. I mean, kicker, you can make that move pretty easy.
It's just like, are they going to do? Like, what
exactly?
Are
they going to be stubborn because they made the tough decision to cut a veteran player to keep a rookie?
Yeah, because there's got to be a dude out there that like he's making that field goal. You know what I'm saying? Like he's making a 48-yard field goal, and it's just like, I don't know, bro. I just know it's going to come back to bite us in the ass. I know it.
Well, to me, the worst feeling, and this is nothing, because it's not an abject disaster. He made the 55-yarder. We did look up percentages, and he's not good enough right now. But to me, it's just the feeling that you get in your balls when he lines up to kick. You just have no confidence. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just feel like, ugh. Whereas with Lutz, you always feel like, all right, let's go. Like, okay, he's going to make it. Like, it's weird. Maybe it's unfair because even when Lutz wasn't making it, it felt like, oh, he's going to make it. Whereas even when Groupie's kind of been making it, I still feel like, I don't know, every time he lines up. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But whatever. Hey, but how awesome is Brazil, dude? The whole thing, I mean, making plays. Granderson, Cam Jordan.
Yeah.
How about DeMario freaking Davis, dude, on the final pass rush? The strip sack, just a thing of absolute abject beauty.
They woke up, bro, because the defense started slow. You got to admit that. They woke up.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, dude, they look like they ate rallies before the game to start the game. But Adebo, Granderson, Adebo. Oh, my God, man. You send him to Honolulu. And I don't even know if the Pro Bowl ain't even there no more. But send him after the season anyway. He deserves a paid vacation. This dude, and Granderson, he just plays like he's addicted to, like, carnage. He's just, dude loves to hit people.
Yeah. It's awesome to see. And then, look, man, Taysom Hill,
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Taysom?
That's been the storyline, Dev, for us. I mean, they finally realized how to utilize Taysom Hill. They realized that Derek Carr's struggling in the red zone. They bring in Taysom Hill to play quarterback and running, throwing, catching, doing it all at the level that we had hoped that they would find a way to utilize him.
Yeah, and my favorite thing about Taysom is what T-Bob had mentioned earlier. Dude, you forget that he's like 32,
33. He's 33. He's in his Jesus year. Probably why he's popping off.
Dude, prime specimen at that age. It's just rad, dude. It's rad, bro.
Well, I mean, but he's always been rare, right? He tore both his ACLs in college and still's like the fastest guy on the Saints. Like, so he's always been an athletic outlier.
Yeah, no, I love it, dude. I really do, bro. I mean, I've never thought about buying a Taysom jersey, but, like, You know, I saw somebody on Twitter say it. You know, I wear one in spirit every day.
Doesn't it kind of suck, though, because now you're still like, but how much longer will it last? Until you're kind of like nervous about buying a Taysom jersey. You feel like you already missed the boat. But,
and it was just, dude, it was a weird day just in general. You got Matt Ryan calling the Saints game. You know, that was different. But he loved us. You know, he said nothing but nice things about the Saints the whole entire game.
Yeah, I mean, he's much better than I am. If I ever did a Raiders game, I would just be hating the whole time. So.
Well, yeah, I really liked Matt Ryan in the booth. Am I crazy? Am I being like, Stockholm syndrome?
I thought
he
did a good job. Look,
yeah.
Matt Ryan is one of the greatest humans you'll meet. I mean, yes, he was the Falcons quarterback for a very, very long time, but it's no surprise to me that he can go into the booth and do a good job and be objective in what he's doing. I would not be. I'd be awful.
What is y'all thoughts? Y'all saw the Pal City Edition uniform?
I feel like I saw it weeks ago on Twitter, and it was just such a meh. Like, okay.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, so you did see it?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I
Are
saw
we talking
a fake
about
leak. Let me look it up.
black ones with like the lime green?
Yeah. What y'all think about that?
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
I just
New Orleans is a city that I can see something and be like, that's New Orleans. That don't make me think New Orleans.
Oh, God, yeah, that's garbage.
Yeah, well, people love it, though. I mean, I've seen a lot of people. I'm on the fence on it, you know, because I just don't. I don't know. You go look at this Houston. Houston's got a good one, and they got like an astronaut on the shorts and stuff. There's just more things that kind of like stand out that symbolize Houston. You know, New Orleans, bro. We just got like the fonts made out of bones.
Do something musical.
I was about to
or
say,
jazzy.
trumpet.
A trumpet. Like
they
something
do that
like,
all the time, though. Every single alternate jersey, every single city edition has something to do with Mardi Gras or the Mardi Gras colors.
It's called City Edition. What does black and lime green have to do?
They explain it. They have a whole explanation. I'm sure Holden Mayo's seen it. There's a skeleton. They put the bones in the Pelican logo.
But that's what I'm saying. We shouldn't have to read a glossary to understand.
Yeah, it's supposed to.
You should look at it and say New Orleans.
People are not going to be happy no matter what. I just like that it's something different, not Mardi Gras. That's my take.
What is it? It's
they're going for like a voodoo,
it's like a Monstars thing.
They're going for like a voodoo cemetery like kind of thing.
I only recognize Marlon Favorite voodoo.
I kind of feel the Shadow Man a little bit here.
But it's like they always. You say they always do the Mardi Gras thing. Well, dude, what's the next thing that they
voodoo.
always do?
Voodoo. Exactly. I would go back to something basically like do like the Jazz logo, but just don't call it the Jazz. Like do something with Louis Armstrong or something like that, which again is cliche, but you know you're trying to do the City Edition, you got to do.
I mean, dude, how hard is it to cash money theme out a uniform, like cash money,
that'd be tight.
or like currency, you know, like something,
freaking
some type
tank.
of vibe.
It's like a tank on there. What about how would you feel if they just did like a broken car window? I mean, right?
Or just make the logo a television that doesn't work to represent Bally Sports.
Yeah, exactly. Like a sorry for your sorry tweet, just like a tweet that says sorry for the service being interrupted. Which again, I love.
The broken window is the talk of it really is. Like if you don't live down here, like everybody when they think about New Orleans, man, they think about them broken windows.
So that's what I'm saying is I actually got it happened to me a few years ago. I was parked by French Market for a show with Deuce. This was back when I was still on L, and I had a bad pack for the weekend with all my favorite clothes. Nothing valuable, but all my favorite clothes. Them a-holes freaking smashed my window and stole all my favorite clothes, dude. I was so pissed.
Little did they know you're 6'4", and they're not going to fit them.
And then I had to drive, like to where I was going that week for like 3 hours. I was so mad, dude. But yeah, it feels like it's become a bit of an epidemic as of late.
Yeah, no, it's I think it's kind of settled down. I don't know, dude. Here's the thing, bro. When the Saints season starts, nobody really talks about that stuff. In the off season, it's like, bro, we're gonna track every window, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's says just a mayor on the jersey doing nothing. I think a lot of New Orleans fans would probably agree with that.
Fun fact on the Tracy Porter thing, I wanted to let y'all know. Guess who was the guy on the phone when the Saints drafted that called Tracy Porter?
I don't know who.
Take a guess.
Like a player?
Player or
coach?
No,
it wouldn't be a player. It'd be a coach.
Yeah, it'd be a coach or a GM.
So it wasn't Mickey Loomis? I mean, I just would have said.
No, you don't always talk to the GM first.
Coach O, was he on the staff as that?
Yeah, maybe so, actually. Who was it?
It was Dennis Allen.
Oh, wow. There you go. So what was
Does that make you feel just a little better about Dennis Allen? Like, even though it means nothing, like right now, but it's like.
I'll tell you what makes me feel okay about Dennis Allen. I still got questions. The overall record's bad, but he does produce good defense. You know, like
Dude's
Saints
been
defense is awesome.
forever. Yeah, he's just. Yeah, I just thought that was crazy, and because Tracy was like, "Man, that's my guy."
Wow.
You know,
Where can everybody find the Tracy Porter conversation, Dev?
Well, I got to edit it and stuff, so it's not going to be out until probably Wednesday or Thursday. But on my YouTube, you can look me up on YouTube, Hold the Mayo, or Snow Like John.
At Hold the Mayo, Snow Like John. Go look him up. Go subscribe. Go like it. Incredible content. RB&R Day remains an electric factory. The dude that rolled up and handed you weed outside of the Halloween mansion that was just an all-time character, bro. That high knee that he hit you with.
Dude, lethal. Yeah.
Watch out.
Supposedly he's like a youth pastor too, and like there's people from the church were like commenting saying, "Man, this guy's been missing for like 3 months. What is he doing?" Well, he's throwing knees in people's driveways and giving weed out. That's what he's doing.
How was it?
It was. I haven't tried to put it in a classified jar.
Okay, you have to say you better not say anything bad publicly about that, bro. Otherwise, you might be in a little trouble.
Look, I'm good. I'm down for a good time, but I mean, I gotta put a limit at certain things. The guy throwing news in the driveway, I gotta put that in a classified jar.
Oh man, so I know I ask you this every week, and the answer's the same every week. But any idea on RB&R Day today? Where are we going?
I mean, I want to go somewhere nice and sit down and have a lot of
a little like big win, like white tablecloth RB&R Day.
Yeah, like an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert where you feel like you can't walk after.
Hell yes, the classic New Orleans lunch special.
Yeah,
just go pass out afterwards with a couple of beers. All right, Dev, thank you so much, man. YouTube.com, go find him. Hold the Mayo, Snow Like John, HCMsports.com/shop if you want some of that incredible merch. Anything else, Dev?
That's it, man. Thank you all. Appreciate it. And take care. Enjoy your week.
Yes, sir. You too. We'll talk to you next week. Can't wait to see RB&R Day today. It is the absolute best. Golf Sal says, I wore Tracy Porter's Super Bowl ring 2 days after he got it. He came to the shop. I worked out in my younger days. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. I wonder...
Tracy from Louisiana, too. I mean, he played in Indiana.
Does he live here now still?
I would assume he's from Louisiana.
Where did he go to high school?
Fort Bar, maybe?
We could look it up, and I'm pretty sure he lives here. He's made like a lot
of he went to Indiana, but yeah, I would assume he lives there.
Yeah.
All right, when we get back, well, actually, real quick, I do want to remind you to go to Rejuve Me Medical, RejuveMeMedical.com, restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. You know who feels like they're on Rejuve Me? Taysom Hill, 33 years young, still whooping ace.
Port Allen.
Yeah, Pelicans.
Oh, hell yeah. But look, you look, I don't care if it's male, female, I don't care if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, fight the aging process, okay? And at Rejuve Me, they understand the effects that aging has on your body, and so they can customize a plan for you. Maybe HRT is for you, maybe it's not. Semaglutide, maybe not. The point is, even if it's something as simple as like B vitamin shots, Rejuve Me draws your labs, and then they customize the plan. Like my wife thought she needed B vitamin shots, right? She was feeling low energy, gets her labs done, goes to consultation. No, actually, that's fine. So let's find another angle, okay? And that's what they're going to do for you to get you where you want to be. And they're in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Metairie, Slidell, and now Shreveport as well. Okay, Mayo says he lives in Houston. That makes sense. Damn, you got him down to
all of my former teammates in Houston are right outside of Nashville. Even if they have no ties, it is Houston and right outside of Nashville, like every one of them.
Good food in both places. So, yeah. Greg Lamont says LSU be undefeated, top 50 defense. Right now they're 100th total defense. Brandon Sims says 100th. Fooled me. Yeah, I kind of agree. All right.
What are the other 33 teams doing?
When we get back, more OTB.
OTB, OT.
Noel Family Distillery, baby. Got me good to go on Saturday night with that delicious Noel Blanco tequila, the official tequila of LSU Athletics. Remember, Danny Lowell went to Mexico for months to study the agave plant. That's right. Where you were busy out having fun, she was studying highland and lowland agaves and created a unique custom blend that represents a state of Louisiana. The rum, that's Louisiana sugarcane, okay? Vodka, pickle vodka, it's all there out of Downsville, Louisiana. Put it to the test. Ask for Noel at your bar or grocery store. put it to the test, okay? Because I believe in the product, and I have more and more people coming up to me every single day saying, wow, T-Bob, I tried it. I loved it. So put it to the test. Stop buying from Austin or Nashville, Houston, okay? Buy from the boot, you bum. Noel Family Distillery, Dallasville, Louisiana. You kidding me? You're not going to buy from there? What are you? Get out of here. Carpetbagger. Noel Family Distillery.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Life in Louisiana is a song. A symphony of sound, colors, and movement. Life is here, now. For life's moments, big and small, always there. The right card, the right care.
Dylan Cruz here to tell you about Six Rings Baseball and Softball Camp. If you live on the North Shore and play ball, go to Six Rings Camps with former LSU assistant coach Dan Canaveri. His knowledge is second to none, and your child will improve and have fun doing it. Camps were held at Coquille Park and Six Rings Academy in Covington with 4 sessions over the summer. Full day and morning only sessions are available from ages 7 to 13. Go to sixringsbaseball.com or call 985-206-9096. Learn the game to love the game.
Would a couple that just came from a couples massage have any use for the massage seats of the Infiniti QX60? Yes, it appears they would. With driver and passenger massage seats, mute all your notifications and feel infinitely you.
Scooncha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service in a bunch of different ways. You want a custom stair job, you can have a ton of fun out there on the water. They can do that. What about a spot lock trolling motor? So you stay right where you need to in casting lines. Or sonar that's let you see the fish under the water before you cast. All of your maintenance needs as well. For 38 years, they've been at it and will continue to do so. The Sherman family of front-to-back boat service.
At Relief Windows, we're more than windows. We're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our number one...
Join me for a Monday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, recapping LSU and Bama and Brian Kelly's press conference and Saints and Bears. Hunt Palmer Show, 1 to 3 weekdays, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Oh, no, I know we're on there. I'm laughing. My guy, SEC Mike, who hosts the show Rivals, is supposed to be with AJ McCarron, but we only get AJ on Tuesday and Fridays because he's busy being an NFL player. So a lot of times I host it with SEC Mike, who hosts that SEC podcast. Highest rated SEC podcast at Apple Spotify. It's really good. It's him and Cousin Shane. They're very good old boys. But we're putting together today's show, and he said, we had something about, is Jimbo, classic, like, is Jimbo done or whatever? And SEC Mike says, Jimbo just needs more time. Let's be fair to him. Yeah, just give Jimbo a little more time. Surely year, 6 is when it's going to get turned around and they're not going to severely underachieve and go 8-5 or 8-4 or whatever it is.
Hey, look, they threw the Hail Mary. They threw it. Bobby Petrino coming in to coach the offense was the Hail Mary. Didn't work.
To be fair, the offense did take over that game in the second half. But, nice season. I don't know. Deuce quote tweeted me and acted like I was being disrespectful because I tweeted something like, God, this got to be one of the best seasons in Oxford in a long time. Getting that epic home win against LSU and then winning that epic game against A&M in which a field goal gets tipped at the very end to barely miss by a yard. It was an awesome game. And I don't know. I think Deuce.
What do you think?
I can't remember. Was it an emoji? I can't remember. I just didn't understand it really. So I didn't think I was being disrespectful. I thought I was like, hell yeah, Ole Miss fans probably pumped up right now, dude, as they should be.
Yeah, they've never made it to Atlanta, and season's not over. They still technically could make it to Atlanta. So yeah.
Okay, let's get to some of these comments in the chat. Rick Clody turned in from Nash Vegas. T-Bum Jake, can you explain why Coach Houston and Justin Milroe were running the ball in the second half? No, I can't. It's one of my main takeaways from the game. It's inexplicable. And it's part of the defensive collapse. I don't understand why you played a scheme that you would play against a
classic pocket
Peyton
passer.
Manning. Yeah, how about this? LSU against ranked opponents this year is giving up 558 yards a game. So look, I said in the chat, I have no animus against Matt House. I have no animus against him. But this is a performance business.
Animus.
And when you don't perform, you get in trouble. And again, like we said with Dabo Swinney, whether you want it or not, with great money comes great expectations. And when you're one of 5 defensive coordinators in the country making $2 million a year, and even with all the personnel issues, and you've got a lot of bad luck. So, I get it, but whatever. Again, that's just the job. And at the end of the day, we always want to judge, do we feel like you're lifting up the team, or is the team performing worse than it's relative to a talent level? And I think the latter is true for Matt House right now. So I kind of feel like the writing's on the wall and that a move will likely have to be made.
I think one of the things that we always point to when we're talking about offenses and defenses is third downs. On offense, can you convert? On defense, can you stop them? Right? That's really that's why they call it the money down, because you either make your money or you lose your money on that down. And in LSU's last 5 losses, they've been not just bad. 79%, 64%, 65%, 54%. Only one game have you been under 50% in a loss, and that was against Tennessee, in which you got throttled at home.
Yeah. How about this, Jake? Animus, hostility or ill feeling, motivation,
animosity,
I don't know where it comes from. That does make sense. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
They feel close, but again, I have no animus. I have no ill feeling. I have no hostility. I have no motivation. I'm just talking about objectively what is being done on the field is just not up to par, and that is what it is, man. And I can feel from an empathetic human level that sucks to be failing on a public stage, and you have your family, and that's awful. And I get all of that. But that is also the job, right? I hear every day how dumb I am. But that's the job. And I accept that as a part of the job, right? Every single day I'm accused of farming clicks and just being an idiot, clown, how do you get a mic, all this stuff, which, to be fair, I am farming clicks, kind of the job. But the point is that is the job. So, I get it. It is what it is. It is what it is. So everybody has their own unique things that are the job, and that is for coaching, unfortunately. All right, when we get back.
There's some things also in the offseason as far as personnel that you have to shore up. You have to shore up some of these deficiencies. You just don't want to go into a game with what you had available in a game like this defensively. And I know you can say, well, there's 3 guys that you brought in, 4 guys actually, that aren't playing in this game. Well, only, let's see, 2 of those are because of injury. 2 are because of we don't know. We just know that they're not playing and they're with the team, we think, maybe. And he said they were in good standing, but then they're not on the team. So you try to bring them in. But living like this that's how it's going to be. Now, you got some guys experienced in this game, some young players at that position that are certainly going to be part of the future. But, even the roster on that side, like you got to shore it up as far as numbers.
Yeah, I mean, it's a third year in a row where you got to do a complete makeover on the second. And maybe not complete. I mean, you're going to have some freshmen that are actually getting older that are going to be key here. You got to keep everybody. We'll see. All right, when we get back, close out the show with Ask the Bench. Keep it locked, OTB.
OTB, OT.
All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, All-Star Toyota BatonRouge.com is the website. Look at all those excellent models. Talking about cars.
I see a 4Runner.
Yep.
I see let's see.
I can't read any of that. My eyes are so bad.
Corolla. Yeah.
I've been in Camry.
You can't
for 3
read any
years
of
now
that?
at least. I cannot read a single thing on that screen.
Oh my! What? Oh boy.
Yeah. New and used Toyota sales in Louisiana.
Paging Williamson.
Oh, yeah, welcome. No.
Hey, but you
Anyway.
can go to the website and you can read it.
Yeah, look, the point is their service, their selection, their people, infinitely better than my failing eyesight as I get older. Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, whether you're looking to lease, buy new, Toyota certified used vehicle where you still get excellent warranty coverage. Holiday deals are on. Toyota-thon is on. So put on your sexiest Toyota thong and go check them out today. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Oh, my.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
When is a taco more than just a taco? When it's Government Taco. Voted best tacos 3 years in a row by 225 Magazine, Government Taco puts the most delicious spin on tacos the capital area has ever seen. With creative combinations like the Magna Carrot, the Filibuster, or the Steak of the Union. Plus perfect tortilla chips paired with the best salsa and queso you've ever had. And happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. and all day on Thursday. Government Taco, 5621 Government Street. The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust Poll of the Day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, live at lunch on Palmer. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the Poll of the Day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
The best kept secret in town is out. Discover Tallulah at the Renaissance Hotel on Bluebonnet.
Electricity is all around us, and our families depend on it. Every day is sparked by the power of a cold drink or a warm meal, a movie night, and a comforting light at the end of a dark hallway. From sunrise to sunset, playtime to bedtime, our team is ready to take care of your electrical needs. Even in the case of an after-hours emergency, the light in your life shines brighter with Mr. Electric.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers.
Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Monday's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We're recapping the big one in T-Town, Tigers and Tide, and Saints Bears from the Dome. Join us for Monday's AFR, 3 to 6, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. About to get into some Ask the Bench. But remember, NBA fans, basketball's back, and DraftKings Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of the NBA. Unbeatable offer. You already know it. If you're a new customer, sign up for the first time. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. You bet $5 on in the NBA. Win or lose, don't matter, because you get $200 in bonus bets instantly. But for returning customers, we've got great deals also, okay? Same game parlays, multi-game parlays. Every NFL game day, there's excellent boosts in action and deals to play with. So, remember, sports, basketball, all of it. More fun when you're in on the action. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Promo code Baton Rouge. Must be 21 or older, physically present in Louisiana. Select parishes only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball. Terms licensing partner, no Glen Liggett, Lake Charles. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537. Ask the Bench. Rumors are Perkins' family wanted to play inside for his draft stock, and now Weeks isn't playing due to family wanting him to redshirt. How common is it for family to dictate like this? I don't know the truth of any of that. I've heard those rumors just like through the chat, basically. I don't know. I don't know that it would make a lot of sense to want Weeks to redshirt, right? But I don't know.
I'm trying to think how many games he has already played, too. I mean, it's 4 games. He not played 4 games?
Well, you can't go to 5.
What I'm saying, hadn't he played? I'm saying
I feel like he may have played more than 4 already.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I agree. I'm not sure. Ask the Bench, does Curly Hallman win this game? I don't think so. Ask the Bench, should we rename Dallas Turner to Dallas Sweep the Leg Turner since Texas, Ole Miss, and LSU all got the, this says,
put him in a
give him
body
the
bag,
false
Johnny.
narrative that he's a dirty player. Look, I think it is, well, like I said, I think it's just football, right? But to me, football is dirty. So if you want to call him dirty player, whatever, I think I wish I had him on my team. I wish I had somebody who could consistently knock out opposing starting quarterbacks. Are you kidding me? In big games, that's like invaluable resource. Ask the Bench. With Daniels being in concussion protocol, can Nuss really give us a chance to lead the team? Also, would they try another portal QB guy for next year? Yeah, look, I think this is a big spot for Nuss if he gets to play, obviously. And I also believe that you kind of should always bring in a portal guy, but I'll let the staff make that decision.
I would assume one veteran player, in that position.
Yeah, I mean, it's what everybody does. Seems to make sense. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. We love you. Thanks so much.
OTB OT.
His name was Cain. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
Scoocha, fall in the air. Fall is right around the corner, which means fall fishing is, which means it's time for you to take your